Get ready, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for kickoffs and kick-ons.
All right, count me in, please. Swoople, are you ready, Drewza, to do this little podcast
10,
thing?
9,
Oh, we're going from the top.
8,
Okay.
7,
Yeah.
6,
Wow, long.
This
Five.
is crazy that you two dickheads have the same shirt.
4,
What we do?
jumper, sweater, 3,
We do.
2, we do, 1.
Yeah. Oh God. Sorry.
Great start.
G'day and welcome to the KOKO Show, proudly brought to you by MYER. That is my store, the best department store in Australia, bar none, and we love them.
In the world, Prof.
In the world, I went to one in another country and it sucked.
Did you?
Yeah, I don't want to say which one it is.
Say it.
Okay, Marks and Sparks.
There they
Marks and Sparks. I think it's Marks and
Marks
Spencer.
and Spencer.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, they suck. All right.
Yeah.
If this is the first time you're watching this show, welcome to the revolution. And you're welcome. Rugby is strong. It's a beautiful beast. And here on the KOKO Show, we love to publicise it and we love to tell everybody just how wonderful the sport of lineouts and rucks and mauls is. Now, two huge bits of news to focus on in my introduction. First of all, the TRC is over. It is done and dusted for another year. Those mighty Springboks, they are the TRC, the Rugby Championship champions, which means they are world champions, and now they are Southern Hemisphere champions. And I reckon in about 600 million years, when the continents shift again, they will be Northern Hemisphere champions. That is what I am picking. Now, they only lost one game out of 6 to the Los Pumas, and those mighty Los Pumas, goodness me, for the very first time, they defeated each of the other 3 nations competing in the TRC. You've got to be thinking, Contemponie must be contemplating just what lies ahead for the Los Pumas.
Oh.
Thank you, everybody. The All Blacks, well, they won the Bledisloe for the the All Blacks, well, they won the Bledisloe for the 22nd year in a row. Whoop-de-doo. And they're starting to show some promise under Razor Robertson. It'll be interesting to see what happens going forward there. And finally, the mighty Wallabies, they might have only won one game, but let me say this. Since when did we start judging rugby teams on how many games they've won? Is that a new thing?
Must be.
Correct me if I'm wrong. It's on the style of play, and our style of play was sublime. Am I right, Swoop?
Oh, you're right.
If the
What kind of
TRC
style?
It was handsome, wasn't it?
Yep.
It was handsome style.
Yep.
And it was fast. It was free-flowing. If the TRC was based on that,
It
we'd
was
be rated.
great. And it's not necessarily, like you said, it's not on wins and losses, but it's more about how you carry yourself afterwards,
Thank you,
shaking
mate.
hands and
Yeah.
I think so. If that was the case, TRC ladder, we are on top. And then the rest are a long way away. That's my first big announcement. My second big announcement, gents. We are coming to the UK and Ireland. The KOKO Show is going on tour, everybody.
I'm already nervous
What? Why are you nervous?
because we're taking this bloke
Yeah, I
with
know.
us.
I know. And we have got flexi flights on the way home, just so everybody knows. When we all get holiday swooped, we come back to our loved ones.
Well,
I
hopefully.
swear, honestly, because since Holly told me that we're going there, I have decided I'm taking October off the alcohol purely because of Swoop.
That never works. Don't be a coward. Don't quit, Goyd. You got to get yourself ready. You got to prep your liver.
It's an
No,
ambush.
but I reckon I'm going to go 2 weeks heavy in November, early November. But I need October
Oh,
off.
for the start of the spring carnival, get yourself into it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Now, I'm going to get more into it in the pod. We'll actually give you the proper details, but we are doing shows in England, Ireland, Scotland, and Wales in November at the same time that the Wallabies will be putting those 4 nations to the sword. So, exact details later on. And again, if you are in those locations, I'll give you the dates just so you can avoid holiday swoop if you want. Maybe you could head to another country. We'll give you plenty of notice.
I'm happy not to go if it's that much of an issue.
Don't be like that. Right,
Swoop,
gents.
we do other stuff, Swoop, Monday to Saturday, though.
What are you saying, son?
I'm just saying, I think you'll enjoy it.
Yeah.
Are you going to work on Sundays while we're in the UK?
Have we got anything booked in on that Sunday?
I'm nervous if we do.
There's 2 Sundays. Oh, we're at Dubai on that Sunday, aren't we?
Are you going to do anything? Or
You might have to make an exception, bro,
I might have to.
because we know you don't like Sundays. You're missing again for the review. Anyway, let's not go in there.
Let's not get into it. The theme for the intros today, gents. Oh, by the way, we have a massive guest, and he's sitting just over there.
Literally and figuratively.
Yes, huge name in the world of rugby and also Australian sport. Massive name, but we'll get to him in a sec. The theme for today's intros is the TRC teams.
Okay.
Each of you have been assigned a rugby championship team. New Zealand. Let's start with that. Like the mighty All Blacks, this guy used to be the best in the world, and same as the Kiwis, he's having a hard time coming to terms with the fact that this is no longer the case. He too is a remarkably big achiever from a small, cold, boring place. Ladies and gentlemen, Matt Kiddo.
Hey.
Oh, that could have been any one of us. The intro.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, that it's the eyes that give it away. He's always
I've gotta
looking to see
stop.
reaction.
I've got to stop. Australia. This guy, like our beloved Wallabies, sometimes struggles to get a win, especially in the courtroom. And like this gentleman's media career, they are both in the very, very early stages of a somewhat rocky rebuild. Finally, he's the only person in the world that has wasted more money on long lunches and super yachts than the old RA executives. It's, of course, Drew Mitchell.
Thanks, champ. Good intro.
Bloody champ me again.
Fitting, huh?
What do you reckon? Who do you think I'm going to go for you, Spook?
Oh, it's the Los Pumas.
It's the Los Pumas.
He's no fucking world champion, this guy.
Like the Los Pumas, this gentleman's form is awesome on the pod 1 week, and then he gets 48 I laughed before I said it. And then he gets 48 points on him the next. He too flourishes out of organised chaos, carries himself with a certain amount of South American flair, and if you ask him who he wanted to be growing up, his answer is the same as all the RG players, Diego Maradona. Ladies and gentlemen, Diego Ashley Cooper.
Jeez, I tell you what, there's been a picture painted very early in this episode.
Hola, Swoop. Hola.
Como estás?
And I'm the Springboks.
Are you?
Yeah, because I'm
Why?
a fucking champion. That's why. There you go. Hey, real quick, let's get into the weekend. Gits, obviously it was your birthday, and all your close friends here on the pod all wished you happy birthday on the right day. Did we?
They did. Sort of. Everyone that tuned in and worked hard for the pod on a Sunday wished me happy birthday. I got a really nice message from Swoop that just was HB day, bro, this morning.
This morning.
Not even
No effort and
not,
late.
Not even the full happy birthday.
You know when it gets stuck.
anyway,
get stuck in
You know what,
drafts?
Swoop? I love you, and I'm not too worried about it. You know what I mean?
See what I mean? Yeah.
Got stuck in drafts.
But Drew, can I say Drew chased me up again last night after doing the pod, and we're talking, and then he texted and he said, I hope you have a great day. I love you. I said, you know what, Beef, I fucking love you too. And it was a nice moment that we had between solid friends.
You called him?
No, I just followed up just to make sure he had a good day. I just wanted to make
okay.
sure that he did.
You're good at that. Touch points.
Yeah, touch
You are.
points. bro.
Now, I saw you on the weekend.
Did we?
Yeah, we on the
On
on
the
Sunday
pod.
we had a chat.
Yeah.
You guys obviously had a big
Yeah, we had a
day.
big day. Saturday, celebrating a friend Mishy's 40th birthday. 12:30 lunch. Missed the AFL, missed the Wallabies, missed the rugby league. It's a big day. And then
That's not such a bad thing. mate.
yeah, no, I missed quite a lot actually. It was a big night, and I left you probably around 1:30.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure what time.
What was
came
the
in
what was the
after
go with the neckties that you just had on?
Well,
the
the
group photo
theme
you
was
sent through?
Dolce Vita, which is a loose
The Dutch.
is like live your best life basically,
nice.
and they were just on the tables for everyone to have.
Love
So
it.
put a little neck scarf on.
Now, you made waves on Sunday, this breeding program. We've
Yeah.
got people putting their hands up. It's a concept that I think
Gits might have floated it.
one of us
Yeah.
did. That
Well,
Drew,
my wife was a big part of it.
your
What,
wife,
the
was
breeding
it?
program?
Well, she's pretty interested in case you want an Indigenous child that can
Oh.
play rugby as well.
Okay.
She put her hand up.
Well, tell her to get in line.
So the idea is we obviously, I floated that, we'd steal some South Africans like
Mm-hmm.
the English cricket team does. Drew is going to go there and breed with them.
Really? You put your hand up.
So we get a couple of big oaks.
It's not bad.
Mm,
Great shout.
yeah.
And we've got people,
I'll
even
do
on,
what I have to for the country.
on YouTube comments, people putting their hands up saying they're all up for it. So
Okay.
it's a genuine thing.
We'll have to
And
look into it.
Congrats to you. Hey, Swoop, anything you want to add other than the Saturday that you
No.
had with...
Drew touched on it all. It was a great day. Celebrating a friend's 40th. And yeah, missed a lot of footy, but that's all right. I'm glad that I didn't watch the review on Sunday, but here we are now. addressing it? We're about to and touch on it, are we?
Yeah, and do you know what like those reviews are rating way better than this show.
A bit of a theme there.
Sorry, mate. Okay, let's get
there.
into the TRC. I wanted to do this real quick before we get our big special guest on. Rankings. I wanted you guys, you're the experts, obviously the TRC all done and dusted. We will later in the show get into those two games that took place, Wallabies, All Blacks, and also obviously the Lost Puma Springboks. We'll touch on that later. But before that, just a real quick snapshot. I wanted you to give me a rating out of 10 for each team and why.
Oh,
so,
out of 10's tough.
What do you want to do out of 5?
No, I thought it was like a report card.
Oh, okay. Well, you can do that. Who do you want to start with, Biv?
Well, let's...
Springboks.
Okay, top to bottom.
Yeah.
Springboks, I'd say you've got to give them an A, don't you? Off the back of double World Cups, the series, July series, 1 each against Ireland, coming in heavily fancy. But I think the way that they were able to manage their depth, give a lot of minutes to a lot of players that are sort of just on the fringe of that 23, starting 23, to start giving them time. So when the older players start to phase out over the next few years, they've got genuine minutes in high competition sort of scenarios. And whilst they lost to Argentina over there, did enough and obviously finished really strong and wrapped it up, which was the first time they'd had that trophy for a long time.
5 years, yeah.
Yeah, you'd have to give them an A, surely.
A, Swoop, you happy to give the Springboks an A?
I'm going to A+.
I would have given A+ if they had not lost to Argentina over there.
Okay. Are you happy to give that the same? Gets A+?
I think I'm going to go with an A+ minus in between the two because it's a trophy that they don't have that they had the opportunity to win. So maybe from a country point of view, they'd be upset at it. But I read a stat this morning around 49, I think it's 49 or 47 players they blooded during this rugby championship. Like, to still be as dominant as you have with the depth that you got, like, you've got to give them at least. Drew's right, but Swoop's generally wrong, but he's also not wrong this time.
A+ for the Springboks. They're going to be pretty happy with that. New Zealand, they came second with 16 points. I always look at Drew first because he's got a well thought out answer.
No, go
you want to go one of the other ones? Okay, Swoop. New Zealand.
I'm going to go between a B+ and an A-. A little bit of Gits is uncharted.
Just fucking pick what's on offer, mate. We're creating up new things.
I like it, Swoop.
Thank you, Gits.
An A+, B-.
Yeah, in between A- and B+.
Okay.
Yeah, look, I think they're still going through a bit of a teething process on a new coaching outfit, but they seem a little bit unsettled, but they still perform pretty well. Like, I mean, they went to South Africa. Yeah, they lost 2 games, but there was some quality football played. I mean, they obviously dished us twice in a row. But yeah, I think from what I hear, they've called back in the oracle of New Zealand rugby, that being Wayne Smith. If that's the case, I fear that the ABs are going to go to a new level. So they'll put on a pretty good performance up there in North when they go over there for their spring tour.
Gits, are you happy with B+, A-?
Yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy around that mark. Purely, like, it depends what the New Zealand public, or not even the public, because I mean we love our fans, but the actual insider group, what they determine success. So they're obviously trying to find their identity, and we touched on it yesterday with Beauden Barrett. If he's going to be 10, like, they've kind of tinkered a little bit with their team. But I think when they decide on their style and how they want to play, and then the players will fit accordingly because they do have really good depth. And I just feel like they're still trying to find their style and how they best play. Previously they've always had their identity. Now they've got new players. So I still think that they played well. To go to South Africa and push the world champions, they had 2 genuine chances of winning those test matches. And other than that, outside of, they lost to Argentina, but they've always been there or thereabouts every test match. So I don't think they're far away from being the dominant self.
Yeah, I think from the outside, we'd probably give them a B+. I think they'd probably be a little bit harsher on themselves just because of where they've been for so long. But, a couple of new pupils into the classroom, really, shining lights, the Satitis. And I think Tupu Vai is also, starting to really come into his own and that sort of, international level. And then you've got a couple of guys that have been sitting in the back of the class for a long time, the experienced guys that sort of stepped in and did a role. I'm not too sure necessarily if maybe Sam Kane or TJ Perenara and those guys will go on the tour because I think maybe they've got their Japanese contracts and however that looks. But, I think from our point of view, it's probably a B plus. You know, with a new coach and trying to find their style, but I think they'd probably be a bit harsh on themselves.
Okay. Are we settling on a B plus? Are we? Everybody happy with the B plus?
B++.
Yep. B plus. Okay. Let's go. Argentina, Los Pumas, 14 points.
Yep.
Obviously, as I said in the intro, big year for them. They defeated all three sides. Gits, I'm coming to you. What grade do you give them?
Well, we spoke about it yesterday. Like, I think the fact they've come in and they've beaten all three sides. It's the first time it's ever happened. It's hard to not give them an A, but then where are their expectations sitting? Do they think that they should have been better? Or I think the real growth for them, and we touched on it yesterday, is that consistency. So they can put in a really good game, but then I feel like Australia is a little bit like we've been guilty of it ourselves, even during the time that we were playing, is you get a really good review, you have a great game. We beat the All Blacks, everyone's singing our praises, then the next week we drop off. And that's just inexperience and being used to being great, I suppose. So I reckon the next level that the Argentinian side has is to be great, to be consistently good and put up these performances consistently. But they've shown that they can mix it with the best. They've beaten every team there. So I don't know where you put that, but for me, it's going to go an A-. You happy with that?
A-?
Yeah, I'm happy with that. Yeah. Well summarised too, Goit.
Yeah.
We don't need to go any further with that.
Nope.
A-. Wallabies, 1 win. But, as I said, green shoots turning into saplings. Who would like to go on this one? Biv?
Well, I mean, I think, again, we've got to look at from where we are and, you know, where we've also recently come from, like with the new coaching staff, 16 new debutants, a number of different captains. It feels like we've settled on our leadership now with Harry Wilson at number 8 there with captaincy. Look, they're attentive. They're keen to learn. There's some encouraging signs. And I think we're building. Let's just go with a B-.
Oh, okay.
What, were you expecting higher?
I was expecting A++, just because they're Aussies.
Well,
Did we not do that?
No.
Oh.
Well, I think also you got to look at what our supporters are thinking as well.
Sorry. Okay.
I mean, I think we off the back of last year we were well below B-, so there's improvement.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah.
So, Swoop, you happy with the B-?
Happy with the B-.
Have you got anything to add?
B.
Anything to add on the
flat
Wallabies'
B.
development?
Yeah, I think just in terms of their hunger and their attitude, I guess the way they've been able to approach certain games, certain sequences in a game, like Drew said, like a much more improved outfit than what we saw last year during the World Cup. There's a lot of improvement there. There's a lot of potential. I guess what we've alluded to a lot on this couch is just remaining patient and trusting Joe and his processes. He's going to have them firing up there in the Northern Hemisphere tour. Excited to see how they bounce back from this rugby championship and what they can do up there north, particularly in different conditions against a different style of play.
Gits, you got anything to add on the Aussies?
No, I agree. I think the end of season tour is like Drew wordsmith, amazing. But Swoop, very good point. Like this end of season tour, I reckon, will create a lot of buzz if we're able to go over there and tip a few of those teams for the British and Irish Lions.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's so important there to get the fan base behind our group and the supporters and even the people over in the UK, because they're probably the ones that are thinking like, you know, maybe it's not going to be that tight a contest. Whereas if you've got genuine buzz around the British and Irish Lions, it's going to be phenomenal next year. So this tour is pretty important, I reckon.
Yeah.
Speaking of important tours and really good segues, this is the perfect time to give you the exact details for the KOKO show heading north. We are going to become NHL's Northern Hemisphere legends. It was only a matter of time. We're doing all 4, the UK and Ireland. We're going to be hitting London, Edinburgh, Cardiff and Dublin. Now, I want to get this right, gents. Ollie, who's in China at the moment.
China.
He wants me to read this and get it 100%. So let's and you guys just...
You're definitely going to fuck this up.
Do not swoop. I am one of the
you
great
are
readers.
$1.10.
Dell, I'm one of the great readers.
Here comes the fuck up.
Here it comes.
So, yes, last week I mentioned that we're going to the Emirates Dubai Sevens, and you can get your tickets to that already. That's fantastic. You're going to come and see the KOKO show. Well, the trip is starting even earlier than that. We are going to do a UK tour with live shows beforehand. just to get us ready for Dubai, which I've already mentioned. It's all thanks to MiXR, MiXR, your go-to for good times, the app that makes going out a good time every time. Download now to earn points at some of your favourite bars, pubs and venues and get a free pint of Stone and Wood Pacific Ale when you buy a ticket to our show.
Nice.
So, we asked if you wanted us to tour and we said yes, so now is the time. We're doing a live show at... Am I fucking this, Tommy?
Yep. He's fucking it. Gits.
Nah, Gits, I'm doing all right. Oh, Gits is gone. This is 2 wheeze in about 3 minutes. All right.
No. I had to fill the water up, but yeah, you're fucking it.
All right. That's right. We are doing a live show at the Walkabout in Cardiff after the game on Sunday, the 17th of November. Then also, what about this? We have a show in London on Thursday, the 21st of November at the Temperance, and then finally ending the UK leg at the Chanter in Edinburgh the night before the Scotland game. That will be the Saturday. So make sure you get on and get your tickets.
Wow.
Now, Ireland, that's happening as well. It's looking like Tuesday, the 26th of November. But I think we still have to wait to organise, to get the venues ready for the tickets. So that'll be up on sale very soon.
Sure.
So make sure you get on there if you're an Irish fan. And then we head to the Dubai Sevens.
How good. That's going to be huge.
Outstanding. So to get your tickets, go to www.kickoffsandkickons.com. Are you guys pumped for that? Are you...
I'm pumped, nervous, excited, all of it. Actually, you know what I'd like to see? A couple of people that come to each of the shows. That'd be nice.
So
Yeah.
And actually, we had that here in Australia.
Mm.
And the consistency of bagging the shit out of someone becomes easier the more that you see them. So if you want to get bagged, turn along. And also, like Wales, what do you reckon is going to be the best show? Because going from experience where you were drinking and having a good time wouldn't often happen because we're so worried about the game. But if outside of the game, I would say Wales is probably going to be the loosest show.
Well,
It's especially after the game. Trying to get everyone quiet to listen at the walkabout is going to be impossible.
It's going to be a lot of fun. Hey, Gits, I've got even better news for you. We're not just doing a show in Cardiff on the night of the game. We are also doing a show for the WRU, for the Welsh Rugby Union. It's at the game itself in the Players' Lounge Hospitality. Now, if you want to make your match day extra special and indulge in Welsh Rugby's luxurious hospitality with world-class dining, unbelievably comfy padded seats on the halfway line, and some entertainment from us.
Wow.
That's the four of us. Also, apparently, a special guest of Welsh Rugby fame.
Wow.
Who, I don't want to say who it is, but I think he stole a kebab off us in Hong
king.
Kong. Oh, don't say it. Don't say it. Maybe.
We've locked him in.
Maybe.
Gotcha.
Don't.
It would have cost a fortune.
How do we
It's
not locked in?
The doctor.
The
No, but he knows the
WRU.
swoop.
The
He knows us.
WRU hospitality is the perfect addition to your match day action. Secure your spot in hospitality today with us at wru.wales/VIP. Yeah, that's right. Now, if you are coming to the show on the night and you think, well, I don't want to double up, then you can also just get tickets to the game to watch the Wallabies take on Wales. They're from £15 for under 18s and £30 for adults. There is, as Gitz has said, there is nothing like Cardiff on match day, with the Principality right in the heart of town. So head to wru.wales/tickets to secure I was so close.
No.
There
So
it
head
is.
to wru.wales/tickets to secure your seats today.
How good.
Just look at how long that read
Jeez,
is.
we're getting a bit of a stacked little itinerary, aren't we?
Yes. Did you want to announce the other thing, or is that too
but
early?
it's premature.
Okay. Well, I mean, you just went on the... I suppose I mentioned the kebab. That's fair enough. Hey, it is time to bring in our very, very special guest. We've been trying to land
This could go anywhere.
I know. We've been trying to land this guy, basically.
Do you
since-
reckon this is the biggest name in his mind that we've ever brought into the show?
Definitely in his mind.
We'll ask him as soon as he walks on. Actually, if you just want to waltz in now, I'm going to do this intro. Just if you slide in very quietly here, Dell.
Thanks
Tommy,
for directing me, Drew.
Tommy likes
Didn't realise I
to...
had to shift over.
Tommy does an intro, and I love it when the guest is in studio because you can look at him right in the face as he insults you. It's all good. All right, here we go. This week on the KOKO Show, we landed one of our prized trophy fish. He is an elusive species that has tantalizingly tugged and teased our tidy lines for months, and now we have finally landed this glorious sucker on the bow of HMAS KOKO. This fella was a dual code destroyer, whether he was shredding up the Broncos, Queensland, and the Kangaroos in league, or the Reds, Waratahs, and Wallabies in union. This bloke snapped necks and cashed checks every time he took to the field. This glorious specimen of a man dazzled with his footwork, sheer size, and God-given speed to break down the will of his opponents and drag them to their knees. This meter eater wasn't just larger than life as he walked over weak pricks on the wing, but off the field he would light up every room with his infectious energy, dynamic dancing, and his immortal ability to sink piss. But sources have said the real man comes out behind closed doors. He is all beer and Skittles in the outside eye, but as a roommate on tour, apparently he is a bit of a grumpy bastard.
Yeah,
so please,
thank you.
Put your hands together for this big, beautiful Brisbane boy, league's lovable larrikin and union's undefeated king of fucking sexy. As he always said, I'm sick of talking about me. How about you talk about me? So let's do exactly that. It's the one and only Mr Wendell Sailor.
Oh, Big Delly.
Hey, boys. Thanks for having me on. Man, I like your podcast. You guys do a really good job, and I'm not going to suck up to you guys, but I've worked with you guys before, but I'm very excited.
Talking about sucking up, you just got Tommy on his knees. Mate, that intro, I've never heard a more flattering intro for any of our guests.
Wait, you know what? You know what? He asked me, and I said, he said, do you have anything about Dell?
Yeah.
I said, you know what? My first tour, I was with Wendell, and I didn't know anyone. And I get in the room, and Dell's showing off, and I'm texting my mates. I'm like, I'm room with Dell. And they're like Dell, like Wendell. I said, yeah, but like, if you're mates with him, you call him Dell. And then as soon as I get in the room, he's like, mate, now's time to just fucking switch off. Like we just recharge the batteries for everyone else. He's a grumpy asshole in the room.
Well, can I agree with you, Gibson. Obviously, Drew, we've roomed together a few times, and obviously I've stayed at your place. Overstayed my welcome a few times too, just quietly. And so when Gitz was on that first tour, Eddie Jones says, oh, mate, we got this kid coming in, Matt Giddo. He hasn't played Super Rugby, but, mate, the kid's from Canberra. He's going to be a gun. And we're all going, please, mate, you got to play Super Rugby. And sure enough, I got we roomed together. And, mate, I like Gitz's energy because all he wanted to do was play and dance to Michael Jackson. And I'm going, mate, you're white, mate.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and he's doing his little moves and he had the streaky hair and stuff. But when we got back to the room, I don't like cold weather. I'm like a big bear. I just like to recharge. So I said, no music, recharge. If you want to go and play music and party, go and see the other boys. Because there was a few young blokes on that tour. So, yeah, I was a bit of a grumpy bastard.
So
It was new. No, but it was new when the music, you could put it onto your radio. Like you could sync it kind of Bluetooth. And I was like, let's throw on Michael Jackson. Because when I did it outside in front of the boys, Big Joe loved it. He's moonwalking. He's like doing all that. We get in the room and he's like, nah. However, I must say, the line that he's given about like I'm sick of it, like we would often do interviews like as a group, and whenever you're in those the corporate function, they want the big dogs. So you want your George Gregan, Wendell Sailor, Lote, not so much Lote at that stage, but Lote would get there, and they'd say to Wendell, you know, blah blah blah. Wendell will answer about himself. He said, you know what? He said, I'm sick of talking about me. How about you talk about me? And the whole crowd would erupt.
Oh, mate. Yeah.
So I've actually made a bit of money off that line.
No, that's good. You and me both.
When I first, actually, it was maybe my first tour as well. I roomed with Wendell in Edinburgh, actually.
Phil Thompson, he's looking after you boys. Isn't he?
Yeah, just putting us with the great role models of touring.
Oh, mate.
But that was also...
I feel like it's a roast here, mate, boys. Yeah.
No, we used to... like travel with a PlayStation, he'd want to play FIFA when we get back to our room. And now I was on maybe 40 grand a year. Dell was on 800 or something at that point.
Yeah, I gave a bit back to you just quietly. So my 2 year suspension, so we'll talk about that later.
But we would get like $100 or £100 for per diems for like, you know, 2 meals, 2 dinners and 1 lunch for the week. And I'm like £100. Like I could go to Macca's 3 times and I could pocket 85 quid of this, right? Because I'm like, this money's crucial for me. And I'd get up to my room after having my Macca's. He goes, mate, I'll play FIFA for your per diems. I'm like, oh no, look, I'm actually all right. And he's like, no, we're playing. I'm like, well, and he's like, come on, who you want? I'm Barcelona. I'm like, fuck, he's got the best team, and I'm okay. and then I'd play and I'd win. Yeah. And he's like, I said, all right, Dell, I'm going to bed then. Thanks for that. And he's like, no, you're not going to bed. We're playing again. Double nothing.
This is a roast.
And then I won like 4 games in a row. I'm up to about 800 quid. And I'm thinking, fuck, how good is this? This is like more than a month's pay. And then we play one more time. Dell wins. And he goes, all right, Big Dell's gone to bed. Just take my money and would never give me a chance to win it back.
Oh, mate, that's a true story too. It's a true story, but it's just a bit of tough love.
Big Dell. You remember when we were playing blackjack, and I'm flipping the cards. I'm room with Dell. He's not getting the cards he wants, and we're playing $5 a hand. I'm thinking, fucking hell, I won't be able to go home. So I got no money. I'm just getting like Drew, and I'm flipping the cards, but I'd flip them facing me to then go out. So I'd almost get a glance at before he would, and that was the reason he was losing. So he's like, fucking kid, can you just turn it the other way? I said, yeah, no worries, mate. And like, I've got no money, but I actually wanted Dell to clean me out at this point because I respect him and love him so much. So I started flipping the other way. I'm getting blackjack. He's losing.
Oh, mate, yeah.
We keep going. Anyway.
We should probably give Dell a right reply at some point.
No,
He's just come in. We've come up off the long run.
Like a roast because it's all
No, but we all fucking love it. Everyone loves Big Delly. Like,
What about the times you used to get your allowance in South Africa, which was basically monopoly money? It wasn't, but you used to get a shitload more than what you would in other countries.
Yeah.
Just because of the exchange rate. And sometimes you wouldn't make it off the bus without it because the big boys up the back would be going, righto. As soon as they got their envelope, we'd be like, flip you for it. It's like, what? Just as simple as that.
Yeah. It's funny. My first tour of South Africa, I didn't realise the boys just go. We're at Alice Park and Santon. You know, obviously the boys go, mate, enjoy your time here, but don't go outside the hotel. What do you mean? And then obviously, you know, it was pretty dangerous.
Yeah, not you.
So no, especially guys like me, Lote, and George Gregan. We sat at the bar, you know, and it's unfortunate, but that's the way it was back then. But,
Remember there was a Reds trip, and you went to the casino. Where were we at Bloom or something?
Yeah.
And you got like there was like a promotion, and you got like 3 blackjacks in a row, and you won a pallet of beer.
Yeah.
Like a full pallet.
Yeah.
And then we obviously couldn't travel with a pallet of like it was like 50 cases of beer or something.
Yeah.
And so I think we took a couple, and didn't you go down to like an area, like it's part of the community or something?
No,
nearby,
I think I gave it to their local rugby club. Like,
Yeah,
I
right.
just, but you know who was there that night? There's a common theme here. Me, casinos, betting, out and about, like, and there was time for rugby. What's his name? Jerry Springer. He was playing at the table across from me.
The guy that had a show in.
Yeah, he was in South Africa doing a show.
You kidding?
No, I swear to God. That's how my lifestyle has been unbelievable, mate. It's been good and bad too, don't worry.
Did Jerry walk up and go,
Wait.
Big Dell, good
No,
to see ya?
No, but probably if he
Delhi.
if he would have got my number, I probably would have been on that show for a few times now.
big man. Off the back of that, when you were at the casino, was that the same time when Rudy Villalago was trying to pat the great white shark the next day? Remember he was a blind, Drew?
Yeah. And then we're going through a safari, and Dell, we only had a couple hours sleep, and he had a bit of the next day bit of a charge on, and back then
So it's a common denominator.
Shannon Knoll song. I've got a cock. I've got a big black shiny cock.
Oh, mate. You blokes, this is a stick shot. This is an absolute. But it's true. But I have been known to get carried away. And one of my 5 personalities, probably more than that actually. And Drew, you've seen them, and Gitz has seen them, and Cooper, you know, you got to thank me too, because when I got suspended, I know you came in. We'll talk about that later. So, mate, look at you 3, mate. Look at this show now. Without my suspension, you 3 wouldn't have this friendship, you know. Yeah.
Thanks for getting suspended.
Oh yeah. No, trust me. It was a long 2 years, but anyway.
All right, well, let's return serve.
Yep.
This is your chance, Dell. What was it like playing with these 3 boys? This is...
Yeah, look, I think for me, I never got to play with Coopy. Obviously, you know, I knew he was coming through the system, and he's, I think, is it your uncle, Graham Bond?
That's right.
Yeah. He was a very talented player before Coopy, and so, you know, I came through with him. But Drew, for me, people talked about Drew, and they called him the White Wendell up there, and I wasn't happy about that. Like,
Yeah, he would always say I was riding on his coattails.
yeah.
Like, mate, you don't wear a coat.
Yeah, no, I know. But I like Drew because he was a bit different. He's a bit out there. He backed himself. He's always a smooth mover, and I got to know him and his family quite well. And obviously, our friendship's been quite good, and we've had some good times out. But geez, remember that time I punched you in the head?
Yeah.
I remember.
You know what I find funny gets to is when you're in the shower, like, no disrespect, but the Polynesian boys and the religious boys, they shower with their undies on and stuff like that. Mate, you know our rule, mate. Just once you finish, just get naked and walk around and just have a beer and talk.
Well, so the first time I'm rooming with Dell, and he's like, I go in the shower, and I'm similar. Like, you're used to that. Like, you keep your strides on. Even to a certain point, you just don't want to feel
Emasculated.
Well, no. Well, there's a large part of that, but it's almost like just promoting when other people aren't doing it. And then when I'm rooming with Dell, not only did he tell me to fucking shut up, he said, mate, make sure you get out here of the shower nude. I'm thinking, well, I've just seen what I'm competing against. So I quickly, shuffle into the...
Sounds like it's more like Big Diddy than Big Deli.
That is good.
That's not bad for you, Drew. But the funny thing is, Drew, boys, is, I learned that through the Broncos. Like, when I walked in there, as an 18-year-old, mate, you got all the big dogs, Peter Ryan, you got Alan Lang.
Webke and Lazarus.
Oh, yeah, but Lazo. Yeah. And even, I remember Steve Randolph and I was a bit shy in our country. Oh, actually, I wasn't that shy. That's a lie. But you just be yourself, and it's all part of, that being in that change room and just getting naked.
Look, I love
what's
where
what's your greatest... Oh, no, I just want to know more, from a rugby point of view. You came over, you transitioned, you were amazing. Everyone still sees you, even, potentially one of the greatest Wallaby wingers. But league, that's my family. My family have grown up on league, and they love league. And you are... I'd say, in my eyes, the greatest winger. Sorry, Lottie, but the greatest winger in rugby league. What holds your fondest memories? Does it really split, or you actually feel like a natural attachment to rugby league or rugby union? Or
I've said this before. People have asked me, do I regret going to rugby union? Never in a million years. The things I've learned through rugby, the places that I've played, the people that I've met, and the friendships that I've had, I love both codes. And even the 2 years that I had out gave me an appreciation for both league and union. So when I do functions, whether it's grassroots or corporate, and this sort of stuff, I get offered functions all over the world. We've been to Hong Kong. Remember the tour in Hong Kong? That's another story.
We'll keep that pretty tight.
No. But that sort of stuff doesn't happen if I stay in rugby league. I think I was a part of 4 premierships, and I think I got voted the best winger in the game 7 years in a row. And
you think?
No, well, I know. World Cup man of the match, Origin man of the match, Broncos Player of the Year 2000. But no, back to what we're talking about. Mate, I've loved playing the All Blacks, playing South Africa, going to Scotland, Ireland. And Toto Kefu was a guy who, you right this, Snoop? Toto Kefu was a guy on my first tour. I know people think that I'm the bad influence, okay? So it was a Wednesday night. I think we had Thursday captain's run or something. One of those nights, and we're playing on the Saturday. And I'm on the bench, and I'm a bit nervous. It's my first tour playing Argentina over there in Buenos Aires. And I get a call. I'm rooming with David Giffen. And when Big Kev calls you, Kev goes, what are you doing? And I said, not much. He goes, let's go out for a drink. So, mate, we're playing on the weekend. He goes, mate, you're only on the bench. So we go out for a drink on the Thursday night. Eddie doesn't know, obviously, but there's about 4 or 5 of us. Justin Harrison was there, obviously. Sorry, Goog, I know that you're working corporate and obviously media now. But there was 4 or 5 guys. I think Jeremy Paul was there, and then Matty Rogers. I think we all just, so you got to have that little group.
I just follow up on that. What do you reckon's been your biggest challenge ever? Like a State of Origin game or a test match? If you could pick one game that you think really tested you physically, because you're a man that, I remember you used to talk shit in a game. But is there one game in particular that sticks out for you where you felt like, oh shit, this is something else?
So State of Origin's the hardest football I've played, but because I'm a little bit left to sound a bit mental, the first hit up, you're going to see stars, and you shake it off and you want it again. The hardest football, that's been hard, but my body was accustomed to that since I was 7 or 8. I think the hardest for me is to play like the All Blacks. I've only beat them once, I think, once in 5 games. I only scored 1 try against them, but the All Blacks, they're a different beast. And that's the reason why I wanted to come to rugby union, because when I was watching Walter Little, John Kerwin, Zinzan Brook, all these guys, and Jonah, mate, we took King of the Wing. I know Lottie's been good for a long time, and Brian Abana, but, mate, Jonah, that bloke.
King of the Wing.
I
love how you bring it in.
He was different, but he was different gravy.
Yeah, he was.
That's the reason I came across. I never got to play him, but because Ben Schoon big dogged me. He said, mate, you're on that wing.
Oh,
I'm
he
on
swapped
Jonah.
wings.
Yeah. Because Ben Troon,
Yeah.
Ben Troon had the right of way. Ben Troon was an absolute beast.
Yeah, he was.
But did you want that? You wanted that?
I wanted the
obviously?
smoke. I wanted the smoke. And then that game, we lost 16-12 Palmerston North. Jonah absolutely terrorised Elton Flatley through the middle at 10 and 12. And I didn't realise how big he was, but I wanted the smoke. And then I think the next year or two, he got sick and, we lost him around that World Cup time.
Was he bigger than you?
Oh, mate, massive. Like, he was different, mate. Like, so when I was in rugby, obviously I'm a bit heavier now. I was about 109, 110. Jonah was 115, 116, sometimes 118, but like muscle and like fast twitch. And like, I studied him for so long, and I wanted to play him, but like he was just different.
How
Mate.
would that have been to see Jonah
Oh,
versus
mate,
Dell
big
one-on-one on the wing?
Well, that's
I know this podcast is awesome and where we're going, but can I just ask? You said you punched Drew in the head.
Oh yeah.
That was a little while ago.
Yeah.
Can we
Well,
just
this
go
was-
back to there?
Well, so we played together at the Reds for a number of years, and then he.
And we hung out socially too.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
your
of
dad.
course. Yeah.
Your dad and mine,
So we're
mate.
like really close, good mates, and then like, we knew one another's partners, all that sort of stuff, right?
Yeah.
And then he went to the Waratahs, and it was the first time that Queensland were playing New South Wales. Is at Suncorp Stadium, and I was getting the smoke because I was lining up on Dell.
Well, you weren't. No, you switched.
Yeah, we swapped over.
Yeah, I don't know.
was like,
I don't know
wanted
why
the
you
smoke.
wanted the smoke, but you go.
and we kicked off deep to Wendell, just ready there to receive. And like we'd seen so often, he comes back, but he sort of drifts across the field and then just loads up that big left foot step, right? And because I'd trained with him and got to know his game so well, I'm not known for being a great defender, but I happened to pick that step and more or less got in front of him and took him to the ground. And I just took the opportunity to like lip up and say, fuck, Dell, you got to get more than that left foot step. And then he just went, bang, right in my fucking eye on the bottom of the ruck. And he goes, how's that for a fucking left foot step, mate?
I love you. I call it tough love. Like, all bets are off because, can I tell you, like, everyone knows that I'm one of Queensland's favourite sons. But to wear a blue jersey at Suncorp Stadium.
Yeah, and you were copying at that game
Oh,
too.
mate,
yeah.
you should, mate, the fans, they hated me because I didn't want to leave the Reds, but then Lote and Mat Rogers goes, mate, come to New South Wales, blah, blah, blah. And I didn't see it like Queensland, New South Wales. I saw it as Rocky Elson was there, Ewan McKenzie got on the phone. I probably didn't realise how good Sydney was going to be. Probably I should have stayed in Brisbane.
Yeah, well, your spirit animal is the moth, the bright. You're just attracted to the bright lights.
Yeah, that's right. But it was. And when I was playing on you, I thought, okay, it's like when I play on you and Lottie, when I played you guys, I can't let you guys embarrass me because, I brought you guys through. You guys are obviously more gifted than me naturally, but I'd learned to bully people because when I came through, I got bullied playing first grade and even through country rugby league when I was 16. So I just thought, you got to learn, you got to use the tools that you're taught.
Yeah, absolutely.
And when I was 16, 17, I had a bloke, Lindsay Gill, he did time for armed robbery. But he said to me, he goes, mate, you need to get and play men. And, you need to learn because you're playing schoolboys and you're too good for them. So I got to training, and that's why I had to teach you that.
Yeah.
And then after it, we had a good time after it.
Yeah, well, firstly, we went up to the post-game function, and I was walking over to Wendell's wife, Tara, and she goes, Drew, what happened to your eye? I had a big black eye. And I said, oh, you should ask your husband. And
I got two of them.
She goes, yeah. She goes, did you hit him? And he was like, yeah. And she said, don't fucking hit Drewy.
I know, everyone loves Drew. They like that dimples and that. And even, I think Lockie was there. Lockie was there with his missus. He came and said, well, he goes, oh, mate, that Drew Mitchell, he goes, all right. I said, yeah. I said, he's good. Because I think, yeah. And we had a good night there.
Yeah, we had a great night.
You may remember.
I played the big man, played him a few times, but when he was at the Tars, he was a little bit more lippy because they had a stronger team. And I was at the Brums, and we had a good team. When he's at the Reds, I was like, you're talking shit. Well, we flogged him by 60 anyway, so it doesn't matter. But when you get to the Tars, and it was like the Easter weekend, and I say this because Tommy was talking about Sexton recently. He's made he's done a book, and he talked about Rico Ioane saying, like, mate, enjoy retirement, all that type of stuff, which it's an aggressive kind of chat, but fuck, that shit happens all the time. Like, people talk shit to hurt your feelings in the moment just because we're all competitive beasts. So I was playing Dell, and it was an Easter weekend, Brums versus the Waratahs. They had a breakaway try. Dell had nothing to do with it. I went back, cover tackle, tackled someone over the try line. He slapped me across the head. He said, yeah, that's right, motherfucker. Happy Easter. Grabbed everyone. But I loved Easter. I loved Easter at that point. Like, since then, I've never been able to get around it. But it's like, afterwards, I don't think Dell's an arsehole. I'm just like, what a competitor, you know?
Yeah.
Like, dude, we were mates. We'd hang out. But he was like, yeah, enjoy your Easter, motherfucker. Like, I don't care about your Easter. And I love that. You know, like we would throw a bit of chat when we play each other.
I remember, I'm not sure if you remember, but I certainly remember. I think the footage or the imagery is absolutely iconic. And I think it's the game that you guys were just talking about when you went down to the Tars and you returned to Suncorp for the first time.
Yeah.
And there's this footage of you walking back to your own try line and the whole crowd of Suncorp is absolutely into you. And you're wanting the smoke. You're absolutely welcoming it. If you had a chance to say anything to anyone in the crowd at the time, or what were you thinking? Like where's your mind? Like where
Mate, can I just say, I love playing in front of big crowds, and it gets me up, you know, and I just want to compete and I want to win. And the thing, playing for Queensland for 4 years, and the people that supported me for all those times, they just turned on me. Mate, everyone talks about like getting, because when you're a big personality like me, people are spraying your blokes and they're having beers, and I welcome it because, mate, they didn't say anything bad, but that was getting me rolled up. And it's a bit like when Gitz was saying, when Rocky Elsom runs through, I'm jumping on Rocky Elsom back and I'm like, oh, yeah, you know, a bit like that to the crowd, fuck you, like this. Because then after the game, mate, you go out and about, it's all part of the theatre of it, you know?
Yeah, well, they're definitely not saying that sort of stuff to your face, the captain.
No, but also, their marketing campaign was based around me. Like, you know, I think Flats called me and said, he goes, mate, I've told to take some footage of you dropping bombs and that. And I said, mate, fuck, I don't care. Like, wouldn't be the first time, mate. Like, you know. And and I remember I said something that really incited the fans, because Flats had a few head knocks. And I did an interview, and I just said, I'll be going straight at Flats. I said, I know his head's not right, but it won't be after I run over him. And then all of a sudden, the media pick up on it and they carry on. So I knew I was my own worst enemy, but I wanted it all, and I wouldn't
change it. Could you imagine a big deal nowadays? Saying something like that. They're like, what an insensitive arsehole. But for me, I respect and love that arsehole. Like, he put himself, but it's not like Dell would do it like during the game, even before the game. He'd tell people what he's going to do, even if he wasn't capable of it. So you got to respect that, you know? Like,
yeah, well, look, I think for me too, like, I wanted to go to the Brumbies, and then, like, they set the standard. I remember Gitson, you know, you two are quite cheeky, and Coopy's always been very respectful of him, but I like when he gives me a little bit of stick too. I love when Coopy's got a few different personalities like me, and so we get along.
Yeah, we're learning that, Del.
We get along quite well. But I remember when we were talking about certain things, and even Gitz, you know, a bit like Tristan, you know, coming through. So when Ronnie Giddo walked into the dressing room, mate, we had Steve Rogers and Ron Giddo. Mate, I'm in awe because these guys are like legends of rugby league and that. Yeah. And I said to Ronnie, mate, the young bloke's going well. And I get it now because Tristan's played, and then he'd go, he played, he went all right. Like, you know, I know it's tough, but it's sport, it's the way it is. So, you know, even your old man, I caught up with him at the 40th. Yeah. And mate, he remembers dropping me off. I remember that time I dropped you off and you were pissed. Mate, I'm on the pistol light, That's one thing I've worked out. Like, yeah.
Everyone's got a story.
I'm on the right show.
But
you
it's
are.
a big
Now,
deal.
We're asking a few questions about your career. I want to ask you, when did Dell play his perfect game? You played, and as we said, Broncos, you played
give us
Origin.
one League One and one Union one if you have.
Yes, the perfect Dell games.
Look, I know I do a lot of corporate lunches and stuff, and that's why a bit of a big deal. But anyway, look, if off the top of my head, 2000 World Cup, Manchester, Old Trafford. I was so excited because, you know, I get a bit of ADHD and I get really excited. And I kept thinking Manchester United. And I remember we watched Man United play against West Ham. Apollo Di Canio scored this goal, first time they won in 27 years. And that crowd and the vibe. And then we're playing New Zealand and they kept talking about Leslie Vanicolo. Let me tell you, he was in for a long day because Big Dell turned up. And, I don't remember the stats, but I think I scored 2 tries, set one up with a kick, and I was unstoppable
With
that
a
day.
kick?
Yeah. I did
Did just drop it and it just hit your
Yeah,
foot?
it was one of those things. Because I know Lottie. We'll talk about Lottie soon.
Yeah,
so,
I know you got a bit of a bone to pick with Lottie.
Oh, I love Lottie, but mate, just yeah. So I was on fire, and this is when you know you're on. You know when you're at the casino. I say a lot of betting and stuff here, but so I dropped it on my foot, kicked it, and the ball rolled around, and Matt Gidley scored.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah, so
But
that was.
You talk about casino. Remember the 2003 World Cup? We turn up, and I don't really bet. I got no money, and you're at $100 table. You're at $100 table at that point, and you're like, "Just follow me, kid." I said, "Oh, I don't know if I got $100 in me." Anyway, so I went and borrowed 100, stacked it up behind you because at blackjack, if you're the front chip, you make the calls. You're like hit, stand, all that stuff. And I just sat in behind you. I walked out with like 1,200.
Yeah.
I read my mates after. I said, "Oh, Big Dell, he's the real deal. He's not just footy. Like, this bloke's he knows what he's doing." I love that about Leslie Vanicolo, though. You know, like
because
that competitive spirit. But people talking shit, and you're like, "Okay, you want to talk him up? I'll show you why he's not that good." You know, and you obviously had the skills to back it up.
Yeah, this is the thing. I don't remember, but I think I got most prizes in that World Cup, player of the tournament, and I think I got man of the match that day. So we won it. We won it. We won it. We had
I love how you say I think.
I know. You know.
Yeah.
So, but then my best rugby game, and Brumbies, it was always tougher playing against the Brumbies. And down there in Canberra, and gets like he talks about me lipping him up. One day, Joe Roth, mate, absolute gun. Doesn't get enough credit.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm trying to tackle Roffy, and I'm not a bad defender. I'm thinking I'm going to mow him down. Roffy palms me in the chest, and off hit the ground, and old mate's running past me, and he reminds me. And I think we got beaten 55-10 that day. We didn't have too many good games down in Canberra, but my best rugby union game was Waratahs and Reds. So when Lote came across, not sure why Lote followed me across. I left the Broncos so you could make a name for yourself there, but one of the great junior nationals. So he comes across the next year, and once again, I don't care if people don't talk about me, because I'm going to talk about me, okay? So they were going on, Lote this, Lotte's better. David Campese came out. Rightio, okay. I read the articles. Okay, I'm getting interviews about Lote. A bit like you, bit of tough love. So as soon as I lined up on Lote, I go bang. So give him a little punch just to let him know we're going to have a, good contest. And then I said to Josh Valentine, I said, mate, early ball for kickoff, I'm going straight through the middle. Anyway, I'm not sure. I know that Matty Rogers is a good player. But let me tell you, mate, him and about 4 Wallabies missed me through the middle. I scored this try. I think it was,
it was about 80 metres or something.
No, it was 80, 85. I don't know. Just bang.
It was
Josh Valentine,
90,
bang. Try
92.
assist. I go through. Scott Centreforth, later, brother. Matty Rogers, boom. See ya. And as I score it, all I kept thinking, we win, we're going to cargo bar till 5 in the morning. And I had 3 outfits. And then I didn't want Lote to beat me. So in those interstate matches, I think I played 5 and 1-5, but that was my best game. But I just loved because the Reds, we didn't win too many games back then. We came second and third last.
But it seems like that's how you got yourself locked in for games. You'd take it personally. You'd listen to the external noise, whether it was Leslie Vanicolo or whether it was Lote or whatever it might be. But you put yourself in a position where you make it personal, where you're like, it's you or me. And you inevitably make it you.
Well, that's like with these players these days too, like the social media, it's tough. Like, imagine I said to you, mate, I wouldn't survive in these days. Like, I would be in trouble. I'd be suspended. Me and the phone wouldn't go good together. So this generation of players, we wouldn't survive. So when we sit on our shows and stuff and we talk about it, mate, we don't know what these young players, young men and women go through. Because in our day, as I said to like Joey and that, mate, half of us got locked up and whatever. And even on rugby tours, remember that Brumbies one when they stole the cab, stole the taxi?
Oh, yeah.
That was just before I got there. I don't know, you weren't there. But yeah, all that sort of stuff, like,
Now, Joey's in.
But I think it's also, like, just with the social media, it's even for me, like, when I play Drew in Super Rugby or even Swoop, like, in Top 14 or even Japan Rugby, you don't want to be embarrassed with your mates. So it's almost like you take it a step further. I would never read the social media stuff or even the print media stuff. But that was kind of your driving force, is that right? Like, if someone wants to say an opinion, Wayne Smith or whatever back in the day, you're like, well, okay, well, I'll prove you wrong.
Well, yeah, that's it. But it's all part of, I think, when you're an athlete or anything in business, you get wide and there's certain things that help you be the best you can be. And I know me and Gordon tell us, like, we're sort of similar in the way that we see things. You know, both country boys, our families have always been really good friends. I remember a journo wrote an article about me. I don't mind, but it got real personal. And I rung him, and God bless him, he's passed away now, Wayne, so it is. And I said, mate, if you ever write another fucking article on me again, I'll fucking come and see you. I didn't threaten him, but he's passed away now, so I feel sorry for him. But I took it personally, and I should have just let it go. But part of me, because I was so good to him, but he had a job to do, and rest in peace. I won't say the journo, but
I think I know him, Dell.
No, we'll talk about it later. Yeah, but that's the way it is. Like, it's just we are wired differently as an athletes and that, but you gotta take the good and the bad, and we're all getting paid good money to play too. And to be honest, I did burn the candle at both ends of my career.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you're known.
Del,
I mean, you enjoyed yourself on and off the field.
Del, do you mind? So we don't need to go into the actual details, but when you were playing rugby and you did get your suspension.
Yeah.
So do you want to? So there's a lot of
Yeah.
internationals watching this
Sure.
that would have seen what you were doing in rugby, and then you disappeared. For 2 years.
Well, I didn't disappear. So what happened was we played the Brumbies on that Easter weekend. I don't know, Gits said like,
That's the one that you talk shit about.
I know, but you thought that that you had a bad weekend. Well,
Yeah, you had a worse
mate,
Easter.
I had a worse one. The Asada guy come up to me and goes, "Oh mate, you've been picked out." So 2 numbers. And don't forget, I was wearing the other number 2 when Lote was at the Commonwealth Games. So it was a random drug test. I partied on the Wednesday night, but there was metabolite in my system. And so a couple of weeks later, I got a phone call from a Canberra number. I don't think it was Mr Journo. And it was someone from Asada said, "Mate, you've tested positive to benzylgorillin or something." And I said, "Oh, mate, I don't take vitamins and all that." And they said, "It's a breakdown of cocaine."
Oh, my drink got spiked.
No, I didn't. No, one thing,
The other vitamin.
one thing Mum and Dad told me to do was always own my mistakes. But can I tell you, that when I got off the phone, rang my manager, mate, I knew it was going to be a long 2 years because they had provisions in there to give you a year suspension. But I knew the AU wanted me sort of gone because I'd made a few mistakes. And
To your credit, though, big man, you didn't really make up any excuses, and you did own it as like a man. Like you stayed true to your parents, you know.
Yeah, but I think you have to, like, we get such a, I think it was the making of me too, the comeback. Like, a lot of sponsors stuck by me, obviously North Rugby, and the best thing was, Gits, I don't know if you remember this, but I think you guys played Scotland, and you guys weren't allowed to sort of talk to me, and all the boys were checking in with me, and I said, "Boys, I'm right, just concentrate on the game." And after one of the test matches, I think it must have been against Scotland, 5 or 6 of you boys come to Bronny to have a beer with me after the game.
Yeah,
knocked on the door.
yeah, I remember that.
And yeah, for me,
But isn't that normal? Like, was that a big moment for you? Like,
Yeah, I
for me,
think
it
so.
doesn't
Yeah.
resonate. It's just like you're thinking, "Oh, he's struggling a little bit." Like, what you did wasn't great, but it doesn't change the type of person you were for me when I first came through, or whatever else, you know.
Yeah, but I just think too, like, the emotion around that too, like, my mum when she got the phone call, but that was good to see you boys there because that's the thing that you miss about it is the camaraderie of being in that team environment. Don't forget, since I was 17, 18, I was in that, team culture rugby. And also, you and Mackenzie, everyone, AAU, they were good. They had a job to do. And it was a tough time, but it was the making of me,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you came back in
Oh, yeah.
Great way.
Mate, that's it. Sponsors love me, I love me, and that's all that matters.
Now,
Sorry.
we'll put up Dell's website at the bottom here just while he's talking, and you can get in contact with Dell anywhere around.
Sponsors love me, and I love me. What another quote. I love it.
Yeah. So, Dell, we've had Lottie on.
Yes.
The shark.
Yeah.
And a good friend of yours.
Yeah, the dark shark. We call him the dark shark.
I've decided to call him the shark, and for many reasons, because people like to go onto the internet and look at what you said 20 years ago,
I know.
and then
Yeah.
cancel you. So, here's my question: You said you've come in and there's you've got a bit of beef with Lottie that you want. Did he say something on our show?
Yeah, so it was the start one, bench one, drop one.
yes.
It was Izzy, Matty Rogers, and Wendell.
Yes.
But then once that social tile went up on our Insta, he sent it to me going, "Fuck you, blokes, no respect."
Yeah, I know. You know what I'm
And
doing?
I said, "Mate, it wasn't me."
Yeah.
I said, "I got dropped as well with the 3 of us."
Yeah.
And then he goes, "No, I've got a bit to say." So
No. Well, so I get it, but Drew, like, don't put yourself in my category because, like, when Eddie, I saw the one that you did with Eddie, mate. There's a common denominator with you. Everyone just thought that you had potential, and I think you're the most capped. Is it try scorer through
World Cups, yeah.
Yeah, and then you got 73 tests or something.
71.
Oh, sorry. Anyway, and then so think about that, and then I'm watching that, and I don't care. Like, Lottie's talking about my kicking. Like, mate, Mat Rogers, can I tell you, mate, he's getting us a cup of tea, mate. He's not even in our. So Lottie, mate, so Israel and Lottie for me are there, but Matty Rogers, please, mate, he lost us that World Cup.
I was about to say,
Hey,
Brad had a shocker in that World Cup.
Mate.
I was telling him.
So
were
listen,
before the
I love
World
Matty
Cup
Rogers,
final.
okay, and you know this. Yeah, you go, Gits, you go.
No, I was just about to say, you may touch on this as well, but we're in the World Cup final and Rat was goal kicking for us, and he's like, another shank, big deal's done. Like, he's not feeling this guy with any confidence.
Right.
He was pretty bad that World Cup, though.
But you know what I remember that World Cup? So we had a rugby league back 3, okay? So Roffey or Chris Latham, I don't know how Chris Latham,
yeah.
Eddie, you fucked up there, mate. Anyway, so...
Oh, you mean he got a selection wrong at a World Cup?
And so through that, we had a good camper, Coffs Harbour, we're going with Darwin and Adelaide and all that sort of stuff. And the thing that I remember is Matty Rogers was dropping 2 balls a fucking session. And then he was dropping balls in the game. And we're all going, how the fuck is he still in this team? I love Rat, but then you got Matty Burke. Matty Burke was in the squad, and then remember, I didn't help. And I think after one of the games, I think we're about to go out, something new after a court session. And I said, boys, just make sure when you give him a beer tonight, get some handles on that because he'll fucking drop it,
That's right. That's right.
Remember that?
You taped the mug to his hand.
Yes.
For our piss up after the World Cup.
I know.
So it wasn't even goal kicking. I got it wrong.
Yeah.
So it was like Rat would drop. So when you're young, I just kept my head down, don't say anything.
Yeah.
That was, just doing my job. But Big Dell, he's Big Dell. And he could shit down whoever he wanted. And I kind of liked it. I'll be nudging him a little bit to say something. Anyway, Rat couldn't catch a cold during this World Cup. And then afterwards, when we were at Billy Young's pub, Wendell came around with the
gaffer tape.
What's that black tape?
Gaffer tape.
The black tape you put around. Yeah, you put it around your boots.
Yeah.
And he taped the mug to his hand. He said, "Well, hopefully you don't drop your beer." And everyone lost it.
Yeah, but it's true.
It was brutal.
I know too. If you're not playing well, it's a bit of banter these days. But also, mate, don't forget. I know Johnny Wilkinson, great kick, good switch kick, and I know Matt Dawson did the good run. But don't forget, he kicked it out to give him that field position. Why are you kicking it out, mate? What in those conditions?
Yeah.
Oh, mate.
So it sounds
Lottie,
like you've got over that.
Yeah, I'm over that. But Lote, oh, mate. I know you and Rat played together at the Waratahs, but, mate, honestly.
Well, I ran into Rat about 4 or 5 months ago, and I've been doing a bit of work to get him on this show.
Yeah.
So either he's going to say, no, you can all
he'll
get
come on.
fucked, or he's going to want to write a reply. So, Matt
but
Rogers,
he's too
Rat.
polished now. He's a player age and he's too polished. I love Dell, uncut, and he'd say it how he sees it, and that's how I saw it too. I agree, Dell.
Also, I'll give Rat a bit of a compliment here. The best thing he's doing at the moment, he's doing some great stuff in and around, and the game and player management. He manages the Levi sisters.
Yeah.
The Sevens guys and girls. I love the way they play. Obviously, New Zealand set a standard. Our Sevens girls are great, fit as hell. And because Tim Walsh, their captain. Yeah. He played Sevens with us in 2000.
He was at the Reds as well.
Yeah, I know he was. I think he was on the bench or carrying drinks. I don't know. I know. I'm joking, Walsh. I love you, brother. But also, the Levi sisters, he manages them. So, Matt will come. Rat, you know what we're like, brother. Come on the show for the boys. Remember when you debuted against the Broncos and I scored 2 tries?
Could you imagine a Big Dell in today's day and age in that squad?
Yeah.
He would tear these kids apart mentally. Yeah. Oh.
Do you think?
But it's what we need. I reckon it's what we need.
Do you think Joseph
Dell?
Suolihi, when he comes in, will be like Big Dell? Do you think he'll?
Probably not.
He's come through the league system. He's come through the league system. I reckon he's used to that criticism.
Yep.
Hard standards. I reckon we probably need to dip back into it here in Australian rugby.
Well, that's what I reckon. Why these podcasts are so good. Because I've been doing stuff over the years and that, and I know yourself, Professor. You do a lot of good stuff. When you can be yourself on these podcasts, this is how it is. And when we go overseas and you're going to Dubai and all that, I think I went to Hong Kong and I saw you over there. You were busy. I don't know how much money you made that week, but we were doing stuff with the Classic Wallabies. And to see guys like Dylan Peach, young Henry Hutchison, those guys come through. We played in those games because I think those games, Classic Wallabies, we don't get paid for it, but then we do a couple of corporate functions. Yeah. And I remember doing one, and I enjoyed it because Simon Shaw, Eric Rush, and Justin Harrison said to me, guys, mate, I'll get you a function. I said, yeah, sweet. So halfway through the thing, mate, where's my function? Mate, I've got it sorted. You better have it sorted, mate, because I took time off from Triple M, which I don't have to worry about anymore. And when I was on stage, you can just get on the piss and have your say, and that's the way it should be. Yeah.
Just relax.
Now, speaking of that, and you watch this as a professional segue, because I meant to sell this at the top, just so we know we're current. It's the rundown. I've done about half a page. Just because Dell's in, it's going to go out the window. But, Dell, you saw this. We are drinking the KOKO beer.
Yeah.
What do you reckon?
This is the KOKO show. Do you like it?
Yeah, I like it. I like beer. Look, I don't discriminate. Obviously, the Bundaberg rum, I was a big fan of the Bear. There's a few ads over there.
Yeah.
But this is nice. It's a nice drop.
So it's Easy Times Beer Co., which is in Brisbane. So, Dell, I reckon if you walk in and you say, I was on the show, they'll just give you all the beer you want.
course.
We are selling the KOKO Show beer. So there's only, not many days. It's till Friday this week.
I think there's only one slab left.
Is there another one there? For
There's only
the boys?
10.
Oh, I'm out.
Yeah, Dell, you can have another one.
Grab me another one.
Here we go.
Yeah, sure.
Least you could do after I gave you that contract after I got sacked. So, you know, then you took my car at North Mercedes. Sorry, you go.
No.
No, I was just going to say, I know you.
Yeah, no, mark that. Hold on, I'll come back. Let me get this out. Head to www.easytimes.beer/KOKO to get yours right now before they sell out. We know lots of you want it outside of Australia. If it does really well this year, Easy Times have assured us that they will start shipping it elsewhere. And obviously, don't forget to follow them at easytimes.beerco on all socials. Tis a tremendous drop, and we do thank them for their support. Sorry, Dell, you were at Norths and you had a Mercedes.
Yeah, look, and I Drew. Remember that game a couple of weeks ago where East, mate, beat Norths Rugby and we had a bet?
Yeah, so it was a shoot shield final.
Yes.
You tried to rob me and say an 8.5 start.
Yeah.
I said no head to head, and you go, no, I'm not taking head to head. I think we settled on 3.5.
3.5, mate. Yeah, that's
So what was the final score?
36-35.
So I owe you what?
$100. Have you got the 100 there?
Mate, the amount of cash I've had to give to you because of FIFA.
I've got no job, mate. I'm unemployed, mate. I'm going to Centrelink.
You had $100 in your pocket?
Mate.
I had a good win at the pokies.
Oh, wait, life's
Well, I
good for
can
Drew.
spot
I mean, Drew, you know, to be fair, remember those times I used to stay at your place and I took you for breakfast and all that? How good was that, eh?
He took me to breakfast, so he came over.
Oh.
And he took my girl at the time and I away for breakfast. But he also knew I was on a juice cleanse.
I forgot, man.
He's like, I'll shout you for breakfast. And I went there and I had a pre-mixed juice. So I just sat there and had a juice. He basically just had lunch, breakfast with my girlfriend and paid for her breakfast.
Yeah, mate, like, I was trying to do the right thing, getting out and about, like, you know. And she appreciated it. And
Yeah, she did, yeah.
And you guys had a good relationship, you're good friends, and I probably didn't help your relationship because sometimes when I'd stay, I'd just say, I'll stay for a day or a night, and then you go, when are you going home?
After 7 nights, I'm like,
oh, mate.
and then he'd leave with my hat on, with my jumper, like all this stuff. I'd never see it again.
Mate, this is a funny story. So when I used to stay at Drew's, so I didn't mind staying in a hotel, but if anyone knows me, I like people. So like I like being around people. I like not a crowd. Like I just like, you know.
Yeah,
I'm
connection.
up, down, yeah.
Oh, you like a crowd.
Yeah. Anyway, I said to Drew, and my driver was there, and as I'm walking out, Drew goes, "Oh, is that my hat?" I said, "Yeah, it is." And then it was your sonny's one time, remember?
Yeah, so Sundays. Mate, there'd be times at 3 a.m. I get a knock on because my bedroom was right on the front window. And it's 3 a.m. I get this dunk, 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 and I open the louvers and Dell's just like, "Oi, let me in."
But you know what I don't like? Sorry, you're right. You know what I don't like? So when I went into my spare room, I'm laying there. Why is there a bike? I said to him, Drew, why is there a bike in my room? Whose bike was it? No,
I think it was Nick Youngquist.
Nick Youngquist. I said, can you move this bike out of here by tomorrow,
Mate,
please?
it was actually...
So your spare room in Drew's house.
Yeah.
I actually put it in there as a bit of a hint. I was like, fucking get on your bike, Dell.
Yeah, I know. Wait, I think I got the hint because obviously I've moved to Sydney now and I've never been invited to Bondi in your apartment. I think once I was over there.
Yeah, you've been
Ah, it's good, mate.
Now I'm going to punch through these sponsors.
Yep, okay.
Stay there. Now hey, can we now do this, please, Hugo? Yep, that's right. Match Fit. It's a big thanks to MYER.com.au. MYER store. Get onto MYER.com.au. They've kitted us out today. We look absolutely outstanding. Could you please start me off,
Yeah,
Biv?
look, I've just gone classic polo, fresh, clean cut. You know, like you can dress it up, you can dress it down, you could wear it to corporate meetings, you could wear it socially. It's a staple, and everyone has to have one in their wardrobe.
Beautiful. Where can they get it?
Oh, my store, MYER.
Bloody oath. Swoop.
Well, the
Hang on a second.
Yeah, what's doing?
Oh,
Best friends.
no. Similar taste, eh? Not
What do you
sure
got?
What that says about me. But went the double Tommy combo.
Yep.
Tommy jeans. Again, haven't taken these off for about 6 weeks.
Yeah.
And I've got this nice little Tommy sweater.
Love it.
Where
would you wear it?
Underneath.
Oh,
little
yeah.
Kenji plain tee, but you can't see that. But
Okay.
geez, it's comfortable.
Where would you wear it?
Everywhere.
Okay, fantastic. I've gone a Tommy sweater that's very similar to Swoop's. I've gone very short black jeans. That's shorts, BLAQ. I don't know if you can see that. Let me lift the pins up. Very short.
What's doing with those socks?
What do you
What are
mean?
they,
They're,
Pikachu or something?
no, they're Vaporeon. So
Okay.
my son, who loves Pokemon,
So you
bought
stole
me-
his
Beautiful.
socks.
Beautiful,
No,
yeah.
he bought me a 3-pack, so I got Vaporeon, Jolteon, and also somebody else, another Pokemon.
Okay, nice.
You got to catch them all. Apparently, I
Right.
haven't succeeded yet. And you can wear this at a Pokemon convention. That's where you can wear
Absolutely.
these.
Yes.
And you, God, you look good up there in Noosa.
I feel good. The hardest thing with this, it's BLAQ. It's similar to your shorts, but it's the shirt. And I've also gone it down low. I've got on the similar short. The problem is I walk along Hastings Street here and everyone's ripping at it. They want a piece of me. So you need to have strong fending arms when you're going to wear something like this. So I've gone the BLAQ linen shirt. It's nice. And it does well along the beach. And I've also got the same short. But where would I wear it? Anywhere where you don't want to be harassed, because girls love me in this.
And mate, I'll tell you what, if that's what 42 looks like,
Yeah.
I can't
You're
wait
looking
2
good, mate.
years. Jesus.
Oh, mate, good.
But this is
All
43,
the
though,
best.
just so you know.
Oh, Jesus, a steep decline.
Yeah. Yeah, age quickly between those 2 years. Very good. That was Match Fit. Oh, geez, there we go. We are punching through this today. Hey, Dell.
Yeah.
It's so good to have you in, mate. We have been asking for a long time, and you are one.
Isn't he good? Jeez,
Oh,
he's good.
mate.
I don't think there's anyone
So,
better.
my very first year of producing, and this is just a side note, and I was associate producer, worked my way through of producing, was at the footy show at 9, and I was producing some of the stuff Big Dell was doing. He's one of the first ex-athletes I got to work with, and just looked after me. Was,
Danny Glover. I remember Danny Glover.
yeah, one of my first skits I made
Made me
with
look
Dell.
good.
Yeah.
'Cause I grew the hair there because I wanted to grow it too, but because I got the Devon, it's like it's gone.
Yeah,
I want to grow it back, but
He's too far back in
but
there.
he was good because
Yeah,
he
well,
goes, "Would you
I
do
don't
this?"
want to bring it up. Well, I'm going to have
Yeah.
to. But during that period when you got done for the potentially not participating under the same rules as everyone else,
Yeah.
you grew your hair out.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Well-
like out of 10, what would you have given that hair?
Oh no! Look, I was trying to find myself, so that was one of my personalities that I was trying to find myself. But you know what? People don't understand too. Like, even though I was out of the game, mate, John O'Neill got me an ambassador role at the Star or the Casino for the 2007 World Cup. So I got paid to do that, yeah, because Gary Flowers was the CEO. But also, I had to go and do Treasure Island in New Zealand. It was just me on an island with,
That's right.
and it was unbelievable. Like, I just said to him, I'll do it for a week.
And
'cause-
Dancing with the Stars. You did
yeah,
Dancing with
that's
the
what I
Stars.
told you, mate. I'm
You were the
more than
first one
sport.
voted out.
Oi, Celebrity Apprentice, I'm more than sport, mate. That's what I said to you.
What was your
You know, just-
go-to dish on Celebrity Apprentice? Oh, hang on, is that? No, sorry,
No, that's
MasterChef.
Apprentice.
Oh, yes.
He didn't do MasterChef.
No, I didn't. They asked me that. I said I can't cook.
Sorry, mate.
But I can eat.
Mate,
I can
I
eat.
like everybody else,
Mine
don't
was
watch TV
Dancing
anyway.
with the Stars. So Dancing with the Stars,
Yep.
you get to a club,
Yep.
and Wendell's there, and he's ordering, what do you want? You want vodka?
Yep.
Sweet. And then when Wendell's had a couple of drinks, he likes to dust his shoulder.
Yeah.
That's like the Wendell move. Big deli, it's almost like, I'm going to dust you guys off. He tried that on Celebrity Dancing with the Stars. Everyone's just going, nah.
No.
See you later.
Okay, so Gits, let me tell you. So what happened there too? Like, I knew I was out of favour with the public a bit
It
because
was your first thing back.
Yeah, it was one of my first things back.
Yeah, yeah.
And obviously, people want to knock the big dog off and that. No, don't worry, I did that myself. But I remember I was going on the show and people go, "Oh, it's a disgrace that he's on there, mate. You know what he'd be good at? Line dancing and all this sort of stuff." So you got to cop that. So here you go.
No, you keep going.
Oh,
Keep
you
going.
go?
No, I was going to say you did another one. Masked Singer.
Yeah.
Homegrown alligator.
yeah.
See you later.
I told you all those times in nightclubs and bars and kick-ons. This is why I'm on the show.
Yeah.
Mate, no one better, mate. So I'm getting that money back. We'll never replace that contract, but I've had a good time doing it. And as I said, the only thing I didn't like was Celebrity Apprentice because there was me, Pauline Hanson, and there was some dancer, I know Jason, somebody. Anyway, so I knew that Australia loved me at that stage. This is after I'd come back, the Dragons and that. So obviously Dancing with the Stars, first to get voted off, okay? Mate, there was no love for the Big Dell there, okay? And my kids remind me every day about how I got voted off first. Okay, nice. And those other shows, I didn't want to do the Channel 9 show, but, and as you know, when David Gingell calls you and Mark Burros, and then they, because look, I wouldn't say that I'm a great leader, and I wouldn't say that I'm a hard worker. So when Gingell and Burros sort of, this will be good for you. And so when we were sitting there, I'm looking at Mark Burros and I'm thinking, he's not foreign me. He loves rugby league, mate. Wizard home loan, mate. He wanted me on the show. Pauline Hanson's been in the bottom 3 times. Anyway, Mark Boros actually brought this up a couple months ago. Anyway, so looking at those, he's looking at us 3, and he said, Dell, you're in charge, blah, 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 you were the manager. And then he looked at Pauline, and then I'm thinking, see you later, Pauline, you're going home. He looks at me, and he goes, Dell, you're fired. And, mate, I wanted to reach over and grab him, and I was blowing up. So I got back in the room, I had to pack up all my stuff again, a bit like the Waratahs. I had to pack my stuff up. Anyway, I rung him. Stop laughing. I rung him. I said, mate, are you kidding? Mate, how would you fire me and not Pauline Hanson? He goes, it's just the way it is, mate. You know, you did a great job, blah, blah. Yeah, right, bang, hung up on him. So, yeah, hung up on him.
Did you?
What a man.
At some point, did you put it on the Roosters or something? Did you? He's a mad Roosters fan. Did you used to pump them?
No, but it was the right decision because at that time, Pauline Hanson was so divisive in and around, and I know how
I'll better for ratings.
Yeah, good mate. I was good for ratings too, but I'd served my purpose.
Of course. Yeah. No, we get it. Okay.
Can I go to my normal question?
Yeah.
Start, bench, drop?
Yes.
Yeah, so start, you got to start one, bench one, drop one. Let's go with guys around your era. We'll go with Joe Roff, Lote, and Ben Tune.
Oh, yeah.
Good.
I would start Joe Roff, mate. And this is not, I'm not having out Lote.
Yeah.
Lote would be on my bench. And unfortunately, Lote, you know, the reason why Lote, he was so good off the bench, he could play different positions too, you know. Trini was so good, but he only really played on the wing in 13. It's a hard one, and it's not disrespectful to Ben Trini because I think he's one of the greatest wingers I've seen in the code. So, but Joe Roff, I rate that highly. When I switched over, I just thought, because I think he took a sabbatical when I came over. I don't know if he wanted to, but after I took his contract.
He's in Barrett's.
After I took his contract, later, Russ. No, I'm joking, Roffy. But Roffy, mate, one of the greats. And Lote on the bench, mate, I love the way that he plays. But even Ben Tune, Tuni's underrated. No one ever talks about Ben Tune, and he was tough. Yeah, and I'll tell you Ben Tune's story when I first got to rugby union, and I know I could get myself into trouble here. So when I was walking into the Reds, Broncos let me go over. This was in between a session. So John Eales was showing me around Ballymore. I'm still contracted to like the Broncos. So they're the Reds and AAU, they're showing me off and showing me around. And I think when I first got there was a turnstiles.
Oh, that's right.
And as I was walking in, the media were there, and there's some of the boys there. I said, see these boys? Big Dell's going to make these turnstiles spin, you know? And so when it's true, I did say that. So when they called it Ballymore, by the time I'd finished it, they called it Dellymore. I don't know. I was wired a little bit differently, so, but yeah.
Well, okay, off the back of that, I guess you've got to do us. So it doesn't matter about positions. You can only start one, you can only bench one, you have to drop one, the 3 of us.
Oh, mate. I got to start Gitz. I just, he was that good, mate. Yeah. And I loved him. I'm going to play, this is a hard one. I never got to play with Coopy, but I'm gonna bench you.
Okay.
And no, but that's just I'm just being. Yeah. And I never got to play with Coopy, but you 2 I played with, even though I think he's one of the great outside backs. Yeah. And I got to flick Coopy, but I love Coopy. That's not disrespectful to you. No. And also, mate, your dad gave me a hard time at the rugby thing the other day.
Yeah.
Can we bring that up?
Yeah. I wasn't there. What did he say?
Well, so. Mr. Coopy,
he
looks Tone, big Tone.
Yeah, Tone.
Big Tone.
He's an arsehole.
No, we're having drinks, okay? So he goes, I've got an issue with you. He goes, you took Graham's contract. And I said, Graham Bond. I was going, that wasn't me. I said, don't forget your son came in on the back of me when I got suspended. So, it worked out well.
Like for like.
Yeah, but then he had a problem and he was ripping into like Lote and me and then he had to settle him down. Yeah. We were having a good time.
Big Tone was on fire that
day.
Yeah, he was
and you settled him down. You had your young bloke there, eh?
Yeah, I did.
You should have seen him, mate. But I know he's a good bloke. You can just tell.
Yeah,
but Coopy had to settle down, mate. That's good.
Yeah.
Big Tone.
We had a good day, but
he's got dementia. Just put him.
Is that what it is? No, I do remember because he was staying with you, and I think we jumped on. That was back when you worked on Sundays, but not anymore. And we said it was Father's Day, wasn't it?
I think it might have been. Yeah.
Yeah. We said, "How was your Father's Day?" And you said, "I cannot wait to get him on the train."
Yeah.
He was on one.
He's a good fella, mate.
Yeah, he's all right.
Yeah.
No, sorry to interrupt again, but I've got to do another one. But this is good. I want us to make this current. Super Sizzler. It's time for this. Sorry, Hugo, roll this in.
Super Sizzler, thanks to BeefEater.
Yes, that's right. BeefEater are back for the rest of the year because barbecuing is awesome. And it is a big thanks to Appliances Online for getting them lined up for us. Dell, we do a segment. It's called the Super Sizzler. We like to pick the current, well, it's the high achievers
Yeah, I love
in
it.
rugby.
I've
Right?
seen it.
You've seen it?
Yeah.
Now, so why don't we, the four of you, this is a good spot actually where we can chat to Dell about the current state of the Wallabies. Why don't you, from that game on the weekend, the Bledisloe, do you want to do that, or can I keep it that tight, or do you want to broaden
sure,
it?
but we can go Oz and New Zealand.
Yes.
Right. I'm going to go Wallace Satiti. I just think he's been an absolute find.
you arsehole.
I knew Gitz was
I
going to
think he's
go
been a
here.
great find. I think he's, for a big fella, he's known for his power, and I said it on our Sunday review. His power and his that sort of imposing sort of figure in the contact areas, but the subtleties around his footwork, being able to attract players and work a weak shoulder. I think they might have found their six, or at least somewhere in their back row. Like he could sort of play 8, he could play 6, but I think Wallace Satiti's in for a little while.
How old is he?
Young.
Young. Has
Is
he
he
got a
22,
Has he got a barbecue?
He wants to host a barbecue in these next 3 weeks before they go on the spring tour, so he needs one.
We'll send him one. Dell, did you want to pick someone? Did you?
Mate, tell you what I've been impressed with is the fullback, Wright.
Yeah,
I
Tom Wright, yeah.
So he came through the Manly system. I remember him coming through, and then when he switched over, I just like the way he brings the ball back, and he just keeps competing. I just think we found our 15 there for a long term. He needs to keep getting better.
Yeah.
But I must admit, I only watched bits and pieces of it because I watched the AFL and I got excited about the Brisbane Lions winning, and then I went to a bar in Paddington, and let me just say, I felt like I won the grand final because I've been a Brisbane Lions supporter since 1993. So
You are just a big Brisbane bear, aren't you, from way back?
yeah, I am. Except when I'm at Waratahs. Yeah, no.
So, if people that aren't in Australia, it was a great day for footy on Saturday. So we had the AFL Grand Final, which is the Australian rules, which was the Swans, so Sydney, where we all live and probably go for,
Yes.
up against the Brisbane Lions, where Dell is from,
Yeah.
and the Lions absolutely pulled
Smoked
their
him
pants
60
down.
points.
Yeah.
Spanked them.
Swans didn't turn up again for the third time.
Yeah. Then the Wallabies, we watched that one, and then obviously you had the NRL, which was the Panthers taking on the
Yeah,
Sharks,
how
which
good.
was a cracking match as well. Sorry, Swoop, did you? Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Swoop, Super Sizzler.
Springboks fullback Fassi. He had an absolutely cracking game on the weekend.
I mean, we did say Australia, New Zealand, but that's
It's all right.
fine.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
No.
But I
No,
like him.
he's
He's good. He's good.
Yeah, he's
he
amazing.
played
Yeah.
really well on the
Yeah.
weekend.
Fassy.
And he doesn't have. I don't think he has one.
He'd love to bry on that
but
bar,
yeah, wouldn't he?
BeefEater, wouldn't he?
Yep.
Boys, can we say this about, like, what about South Africa? Like, how, I don't like to give the South Africans a massive rap, but when I was at the Suncorp Stadium, it was like men versus boys up there. Al Graham, good mate of mine, CEO of Suncorp Stadium, gave me 4 tickets. So went up there and mate, I was sitting with a South African bird who's a friend of mine, and she just sledging me. Like, you know how I sledged you and like Gitz and that? She was just going, it's men versus boys. You guys are terrible. We put 40 on yous. And mate, lucky I was drinking that day because, that was hard work.
It was a long day. Hey, Gitz, have you got one for us for your Super Sizzler?
Gee, Biv came in and snaked me there from yesterday. I think Frosty. I really enjoyed Nick Frost. I thought he, especially for the first 50 minutes before he was replaced, I thought he was putting on a pretty physical, dominant performance that stood out for me. I don't usually watch second rowers, but I thought he was trying to mix it and then really having a go defensively against the All Blacks, which, obviously there are other people there, which everyone's already mentioned, as their super sizzlers. But for me, I thought he sizzled, and he sizzled nicely.
He did. Some nice sizzling. You're right. Has he got one? Gitz, barbecue?
I don't think I've ever given him a sizzler, no.
Okay. All right. We'll get him one.
This will be his one and only, I'd imagine.
Now, normally, Dell, I then pick someone and they all tell me it's a bad choice.
No, try again.
Okay. Caleb Clark.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
good.
no way.
He's a weapon.
That's not an obvious one, Gitz.
I like him. He's good.
Piss off.
Yeah, he's strong.
Can anybody tackle him? Honestly.
Yeah, he's
If
a
you
beast.
just
I think he's a Mad South fan too, isn't he?
Yeah,
Yes,
he
he
went
trained
train
with
with him a little bit.
No, I saw that. Yeah.
he unbelievable, just slices through people. His second try on that left hand
Yeah.
side when he ran over 400 people, including Tom Wright at the end. And
Yeah,
just,
yeah.
I don't know. We need someone that can tackle him if we want to win the Bledisloe. Do you see anybody?
Don't look over here.
He is unbelievable. There you go. That was
Super Sizzler, thanks to BeefEater.
there we go. The Super Sizzler. Goodness me, it is summer here, and it is barbecuing season. So get out and buy
I
your
love
beef.
barbecuing.
I'm sick for barbecuing. Hey, we have gone long here, Hugo. How long have we gone here, mate?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's not too bad.
That's cool.
Now, we do have a quiz that Tommy has written.
Sure.
Yeah.
Did we want to do a quiz with Dell? Do we want to go anywhere else with Dell?
Yeah, that's it.
Let's do a quiz.
I know you love it, Swoop. There is a Wendell Sailor quiz.
Just
Yes.
before you get to the quiz,
Yes.
just got to make mention, the Wallaroos in the WXV got a win against Wales
Yeah,
over
the
in
girls.
South Africa.
37-5, eh?
Yeah, 37-5. Mate, Stewart got a double. Fatala Maleka was the player of the match. And if you get a chance, just go on the socials. Her little post-game interview when she accepted that award, very good. She's a great little personality, but also a fantastic player. So good on the girls.
Amazing
Yeah.
turnaround.
Yeah,
from losing
huge.
to them the week before. Actually, Beaver last week, and you guys. So we had Stephen Donald. On
Oh, yeah,
last
good
week.
man, mate. Yeah, I played it.
He was talking about how good the Barbarians
Yeah.
week was, and this has become a bit of a theme. So did you boys all play Barbarians together, or
Not together, but you played.
Yeah, so it's funny. I think it was 2005. Actually, it was my last year in rugby union. No, that was 2006 was my last year. Anyway, so Bob Dwyer was the Barbarians coach. And Reds, look, we must have come second or third last. Anyway, so Bob Dwyer calls me and says, hey, mate, I want you to play Barbarians. And I've never played before. And I've heard about how good it is. You know, I've seen Jonah and all the boys play. Anyway, so I ring Eddie. And I said, Eddie, you know, I know we got the Wallaby squad and that, but do you mind if I go and play Barbarians? And Eddie was good to me. He didn't mind because he knew for me, the busier I stayed, the better it was. Rather than when I get bored, that's when I get in trouble. Okay, so everyone knows that. So I went over there, and there was a bloke that I played with over there. So Carlos Spencer was in the team, Corne Krieger, and I've had running with those guys. And Carlos is a bit like me; he's got a bit of an ego too, and we clashed. But us three were like best mates
On that trip.
Yeah, we played in Scotland. And then we played one in London. The one in London, I think they played their B-side. I think I scored 2 tries and got man of the match. Anyway, enough about that. But the best thing was we had our golf day at St Andrews. So, you know, obviously you get paid. Your manager says, oh, mate, the payments, oh, mate, I'll do it for nothing. And you're just drinking
you
every day.
didn't.
Yeah, but, yeah, I don't worry. I'm like Gits. I like my cash.
Yeah.
And so the best thing was we're playing the golf day, and this will shock you. I'm around the bar telling stories, so I'm holding court. Anyway, Zinzan Brook walks in because he's the selector. Anyway, the boys go, mate, you know what? Mate, Prince William's coming. Don't forget Prince William and Kate Middleton, you know, they were at university there.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, so the big man is holding court at the bar, and, you know, obviously we had a good day at the golf. My roommate was Owen Finnegan. Oh, my goodness, punishing. Anyway, enough about that. That's probably what he said about me. All of a sudden, I get a tap on the shoulder. It's Prince William. He goes, oh, how's the big Dell? And for the first time, I was speechless.
Really?
Because I didn't know whether to say, hey, Prince, hey, King. I didn't know what to say.
Yeah.
And I think I was a bit shocked that, one, he knew who I was, but everyone sort of knew I was. But the best thing about that, we had a great day, and he said, I'm coming to dinner with you guys. And I thought, how good's this? Prince is coming to dinner. And so what he did is he sat at another table, and then there was 2 spare seats there. And then I was obviously over here. Kate Middleton, she sat across from me.
Yeah.
And then Matty Burke, I think Matty Burke was there. And let me tell you, it was really nice to talk to Kate. You know, we had a good dinner and had a good chat. I don't know how
We're
good.
playing footsies or anything on the table?
No, none of that, mate. None of that, mate. But I tell you what, had a great dinner. It was a great chat. She was beautiful. And all I'll say is, she didn't need to look at the dessert menu because she was looking right at him. You know? Yeah. She was pretty happy with the dinner.
Little chocolate souffle across the table.
Probably back there,
After the
chocolate souffle.
2003, do you remember after 2003 World Cup, Dell, Prince Harry came to the Cargo Bar?
Yes.
Where it was the place to be, or Wallaby Bar, whatever
Bill
it
Young.
was.
Bill Young.
Yeah, so he's holding a bottle of vodka above us, and he said, do you accept to be knighted? And he's gone shoulder, shoulder, and then he's tapped your head, and then he sculled you with vodka. He said, you are now eligible, you are now the vodka king of whatever it was. But, like, he's a good man.
But also Bill Young. Everyone knows Bill Young here.
Yeah,
you know, I
Bill,
think he played 45, 46 tests in the front row. Ken hosted lunch. Mate, really
On
good.
Tuesday last week.
Tuesday was good. We had a great table. Bill Young, as his big Bill Senior, mate, great man, passed away a couple of years ago. And Bill certainly got, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. So Bill gets a shot of Bill Young, the player. We lost the World Cup, and then we didn't want to kick on. But this will shock you. After locking at the Concord, we kicked onto the Cargo Bar. Oh, the Cargo Bar loved us. Anyway, Bill Young walks over with a tray of shots, and Prince Harry's there with his mates. He doesn't want anything to do with this. Some of the England players are there, and Bill Young goes, I want to have a shot with the Prince. And his mates sort of tried to, we had to calm Bill Young down because they were going to go fisticuffs. Oh. Yeah, because Bill, mate, you know what Bill's like. He just loves a good time. And he goes, I should be able to shout, my Prince a drink. And as Bill does, he gets quite forceful. So,
did he have a shot?
I had a shot. He had a shot.
Yeah.
But Prince William's mates, mate, we would have flogged them, but we didn't, you know. So that was KOKO Bar. And if those walls could talk, let me tell you,
you wouldn't be here.
Neither would you two, just quietly.
All right, well,
let's do this quiz.
let's
say
do
something
this
about
quiz.
a quiz.
Let's get into it. All right, let's do, here it is, the quiz. Very, very good. Right, the topic today is Wendell Sailor. Now, Dell, would you like to compete? Is it better for Dell to, I'm just asking Tommy, Dell to compete?
Yeah,
Okay,
just
so you'll know the answer, so you confirm the answers.
okay.
Thank you, Tommy. Great guy. Question number 1. After the Broncos 2000, this is the Brisbane Broncos NRL Grand Final win over the Roosters 14-6. This is why Mike Boris doesn't like you. Who did Wendell call on Mad Monday to rub in the victory? Was it A, Brad Fittler, B, Graham Murray, C, Phil Gould, or D, Nick Politis? Swoop.
What? Can you go through them
So
quickly?
Brad Fittler, Graham Murray, Phil Gould, or Nick
Has to be
Politis?
Phil Gould.
Phil Gould. Gits. Sorry, Bono.
Politis.
Politis.
I'm going Graham Murray.
Graham Murray. And the answer was
Phil Gould.
Phil Gould.
Can I tell you how that happened?
I just never heard of Graham Murray, so I thought it had to be him.
He's
So
their
Phil
coach.
Gould, obviously, Roosters Association there, leading up to it, he's back in the Roosters. He said, like, the Broncos are too big. It was the 2000 Olympics too, so it was an afternoon grand final, so it was going to be delayed a bit. So anyway, so as you do, we all read stuff and listen to stuff, and the boys sort of brought it up a little bit. Anyway, so after we won the grand final, we're sitting around the trophy, and then one of the boys go, hey, boys, let's ring Gus. And to Gus's credit, he answered the phone, and I was the one, there was me, then I passed the phone around to the boys, we're drinking, and some of the boys were in the spa on that, and like, it was great. So, well done, Gus. Love you, brother.
So Gus is Phil Gould. if
Yeah,
you're not
yeah,
from
sorry, yeah,
Australia,
Phil Gould.
And he's a big name
Yeah.
in the league. Okay, question number 2. Congratulations,
Yeah.
Ding Ding. You got a good
Well
feeling
done.
about this
well
one?
done. Well done.
Very good feeling.
Question number 2. In game 1 of the 2000 State of Origin series, on the stroke of halftime, Dell got knocked the fuck out.
Oh, mate.
Who knocked Wendell out? Was it A, Darren Lockyer, B, Matt Rogers, C, David Peachy, or D, Wendell's very own ego?
Or E, me.
Oh, please.
Would you like to go first this time?
I'm going to go the peach.
Peachy, Gits,
So Lockie was A, was he?
Yep.
Who was B?
Rogers, C, Peachy,
Yeah, I only go with Rat.
the Rat,
I think
and
it was Lockyer. I can't remember that. It was Lockyer.
Mate, Coopy's on fire. So I'll tell you how it happened. So
Ding Ding Ding.
Yeah, ding, ding, ding. So as I'm going to catch the ball, I'm going 100 miles an hour. I had it covered. I run into Lockie's hip. So virtually, I'm asleep. I'm out. I'm out for 2 minutes. My legs flickering, and because I was in the vision.
Hang on. Siren in the background. Is that for you?
Again. Anyway, as I'm going in, I don't remember too much. Gordy looks at me, and Gordy goes, "Mate, you okay?" And I go, "Yeah, I'm sweet," because I didn't, And he goes, "Last time I saw you," he goes, out in the middle of there, he goes, "You were snoring like a big black bush pig," because I had all the spit, like I was asleep. I didn't remember, and then they let me go back on in the last 15, 20 minutes, and Matty Rogers got knocked out by Darren Smith. They clashed heads. Darren Smith had a headgear, and then Matty come off, and then I went back on. Yeah, he's so tough, that Matt Rogers. But mine was, I fractured my eye
good old
socket,
days.
and yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, the old days they'd send you back out.
Yeah.
Yeah, goodness me. Congratulations, 2-0.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Question number 3. What is Wendell Sailor's middle name?
Oh, this is good.
Oh,
This is a good name. I
know
wish this was my first name. Wendell's a rock star name, but like the middle one's good.
Oh, Wendell, you can't. Okay. A, Samson. B, Jermaine. C, Terrence. Or D, Grumpy Bastard. Gets Samson,
Yes,
Jermaine, or
Jermaine.
Terrence?
Jermaine.
Yeah, Jermaine.
Jermaine.
You obviously all know Jermaine.
Yeah, Wendell Jermaine Sailor.
It is gangster though. Oh, that's mad.
Yeah, I know it's good. So I think not many people know this. Oh, a few people know this. But my birth mum, she gave me up for adoption at 2 days old. So she obviously was a fan of the Jacksons. So Wendell, Jermaine, and then obviously there's that family name, which is it's a South Sea Island name. But yeah, so but I love those two names.
What's the family name?
Okay. we're probably going into a bit deeper here. But
Okay, we don't have to.
No, let's go. I'll tell you. So I've never known, and this is part of, remember I said to you, part of my problems was, too, like, I've never known where I've come from. So I think my birth dad, I've never met my birth dad. So he was West Indian. My mum was South Sea Islander. I'm not sure if I've got any Indigenous in me, but because my adopted dad and mum were the next door neighbours, at 2 days old, my birth mum, who had 5 or 6 kids to 3 different gentlemen, I didn't really know her that well, but she said to my parents who adopted me, they go, he's a beautiful boy, and then she said, I'm giving up for adoption. So they went home, made a decision overnight that they were going to adopt me.
Yeah, right.
They couldn't afford it, but that's...
So you were just next door, though, from you?
Yeah, they were next door, my mum. So, so Wendell Jermaine Sailor is, that's my dad, he's a Torres Strait Islander, so I've always gone under that banner. But if we're being real, I think it's West Indian, South Sea Islander.
Yeah, right.
But the adoptive parents, they were spot on. You're a beautiful big man.
Yeah, I know. Thank you, man. Thank you. So are you, mate. Look at you. You're looking sexy, mate.
Well, no, it's only because the sun's coming in, and this is the roommate, the guy that owns this property, his glasses. And he said, mate, if you get the chance, mate, throw them on. It's this old guy that we all know.
Milk me.
Yeah, mama.
Oh, Drew, I love when you give me your sunnies to wear there, mate. They're great.
Yeah, I'd never see him again. I actually went to do an optometrist not so long ago. They said, mate, you got to be careful. You got some sun damage in your eyes. I said, yeah, because I don't have any fucking sunnies anymore.
Sorry, mate. I'll get you a pair.
3-1-1. Question number 4. At a party in the Super League era, Wendell was there with Russell Crowe, Nicole Kidman, and Tom Cruise. What song did all the Broncos stars start singing with those A-listers? Was it A, You've Lost That Loving Feeling, B, Old Time Rock and Roll, C, Hold Me Closer, Tiny Dancer, or D, Aye Aye Yippee Yippee Aye, the Queensland classic? So all you Queenslanders out there know that one. Who was first here?
No,
Biv?
I'll go with Top Gun. You've lost
Okay.
that love
Swoop.
feeling.
Aye, yippee, yippee, aye.
And Gits?
I'm going to go with Drew.
He's right.
Am I right?
Yeah. And can I tell you,
Yes.
Russell Crowe, he organised that. Mel Meninga, he was our coach. It was that Super League. It was a 9 tournament.
yeah.
We lost in Fiji in the semi-finals to New Zealand. I think they won it. Anyway, so he says to us, he goes, hey, boys, we're going to watch Russell Crowe's band play tonight, 45-footer grunt or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So it was at the Balmain Hotel or one of those hotels there. And so we get there and he goes, but like, he said, you can't take any like photos. This is before phones.
Yeah.
So, because usually... you go and buy those little.
Yeah, the
that's,
little
that's what me and Steve
disposable
Menzies.
cameras.
That's what me and Steve Menzies did on the '94 tour, and we're getting photos with Mel and like Laurie and all these guys. Me and Beaver, like 20-year-olds, we were kid in the candy store. So when we were there, Nicole Kidman walks in, and she's a big star too, and so is Tom Cruise. He was like 5'3". He's a dwarf, mate. Like can we say that?
Yeah, I think dwarf's okay.
Yeah. So but it was great. He sat down and like she sat down beside us, and mate, we got on the piss and like singing that song, and he was great. He joined in too.
Yeah, right.
I wanted a bit more Kokomo,
Yeah.
Kokomo, we'll get there fast. Anyway, so
Be honest with me.
Lucky you said Camo there.
yeah, I know.
Did Tom walk in and go, big deal? How are you? Love you. Did he know you?
No, but I think Nicole
would have.
Yeah, she was
She's
pretty
Sydney?
happy. She was pretty happy. But
Sydney
her and
side?
Ebony and Ivory, like me, very chocolate, and her very vanilla.
The old Oreo.
Okay, so, if they just pegged that
No,
back.
so it's 3-2-2 now.
Yeah.
Question number 5, you guys need to tie this, okay? Otherwise, we're all done.
Come on, boys.
In 2019, Wendell was a performer on Channel 10's The Masked Singer. Oh.
Yeah.
What character was Wendell on stage? A cane toad, B, a rhino, C, a lion, or D, a two-headed Queensland mongrel?
Swoop start. It's swoop start.
Swoop.
I think it was a rhino.
Gits?
Cane toad's too obvious. What was it? So cane
Cane toad,
it's
rhino, or a
Queensland.
lion?
He's a lion. He's king of the jungle.
For
Big
extra
deal.
points, can I lock in a black rhino?
Yeah, of course.
Fuck.
Yeah.
And
know-
he sung Alligator by George Ezra.
Yeah.
Okay, we know
Yeah,
who
Drew
enjoyed The
wins.
Masked Singer.
Yes, Drew wins.
It was, and you know who beat me? I'm not happy about it because when I.
But I think that's a win for Swoop.
Yeah, well done,
Yeah,
Swoop.
yeah.
Well done,
Swoop's
brother.
one again. Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah, well done.
Another
Great
big
quiz.
deal.
I'll say this. So when I said no the first time, and my manager at the time, Chris Orr, who does my stuff now, he said, mate, just you don't really have to sing. So I know I can dance because I'm a black man. I can dance, okay?
Yeah.
And I spent a lot of time in nightclubs, okay? So obviously Dancing with Stars wasn't great for me. But so when my manager taught me to doing it, it was great because you couldn't tell anyone. And then when I was dancing and singing and that, blokes text me, "That's you, mate. I've seen those moves. I've seen them at King's Cross. I've seen them in London." And I'm going, and I think it was Mick Crocker and Menzies. They were at the Snow at the time. I was going, "No, it's not me. I think it's Brendan Favola." But it was so fun to do because you actually got to sing. You actually got to sing.
Yeah.
And it was.
Geez, you would have been sweating up in that
Oh,
suit.
mate. So the first time I did it, and you know, I'm a sweater. The first time I did it, I put it on, and because I hate
Claustrophobic,
yeah. And I actually said to him, I said, "Listen." I said, I need to rip this head off, otherwise I'm going to faint because you're singing it, you're getting really hot on there. So they put a fan in it for the next show. So I think I beat 3 or 4 people. But you know who beat me? Kate Sobrano.
Well, that's fair.
She was a lioness, I know, but that's what I'm saying. I'm up against Kate Sobrano.
Yeah, that's not really fair. She's a professional singer.
Well,
That's what I mean.
No, but I mean, like, it's not a bad thing to be beaten by her.
Yeah, I know.
true.
You know who got knocked out first? Unlucky Nikki Webster. Laters, Nikki. Yeah,
Strawberry kisses.
Yeah. Sorry.
Well, congratulations to you.
Yeah,
nice
well
Back
Sweet,
on the
sweet.
winning podium, mate.
Yeah, right,
Well
bro.
done, Troy.
Actually, Drew, you're out. You're out. Sweeps back in.
Well, what about Gitz? He's swapped his beer out for a water or something.
Yeah, what are you doing, mate?
No, I've run out of beers. I finished the 6-pack.
That's fair.
And
love
you've
this
taken
show.
the sunnies off. That's not because we were saying they're a bit weren't funny, are they?
No, because the umbrella moved.
Okay.
Can I say this?
It's all
Yeah.
tactical, mate.
Can I say this? I've worked with a lot of you guys over the years. Can I say this? Rugby union and the people out there should thank me for getting suspended because that brought you three together. And look at this. You got one of the best podcasts going around. Mate, I can't stop laughing. Look, you've had some great guests, Brian Urbana.
Yeah, he's good.
You get them
friend
all
of the
because this is what it should be.
There's no one better than you, big man. And you're open and you're honest. And
Got it.
you get a lot of players and they're a bit guarded, which we would have been the same back in the day. But you are.
You are.
Well, you.
But also, he
Just
teased us for 36 weeks.
Yeah.
We can't get big deal.
But I will say
we
this.
finally got it.
The best thing that I think people can have, let people be themselves. So Wayne Bennett regularly checks in with me. So it's funny. I speak to Wayne like once or twice a week. And like I hadn't spoken to him for a couple of weeks because obviously, you know, he got knocked out. I don't think he was on Mad Monday. Anyway, so I'm looking at my phone. I go, fuck, it's Wayne. What have I fucking done lately? What do I do on the weekend? Because people report back to Wayne and say, mate, Dell was out. Or like, but he's good. He always checks in.
He's still got that authoritative figure.
Yeah, but he gets it because he knows my background on being adopted, and obviously, you know, and I think you know, you've been quite good. Drew's got a good rule. When I used to stay at his place, if you're staying at my place, when we sit at the table, we got to be able to.
I was like, you know, like it's not free to stay at my place, but you've just got to look at things, you know. Seriously and honestly, I was like, you know, like I'm happy to you know, give you a bed or a lounge or whatever it might be, but you know, like, whatever's brought you to mine, we've got to sit there and talk it out and be honest about it. So that was his rent. That's how he paid his rent, was to have those honest conversations with me.
I know it's a bit deep, but no, it's good.
No, it's awesome, Drew. It's amazing that you do.
Yeah.
But even even the aqua rugby thing that I did with Drew goes, oh, this will be good. And at the time, it was good for me because you know, obviously, you know, there's a few things happening in and around my life at the time, and Tristan was going through stuff, and Drew was always really good, and the aqua rugby stuff was really good. I didn't play in it, but you know, I remember Nonu. I think you ever on the podcast.
Yeah, he's been on.
So I was supposed to play in the first one, but at the time I couldn't because Tristan was going through his stuff. So I just thought, bad look for me being on a super yacht when my son's going through that cool stuff. Would have been bad look. You know, would have been very selfish of me. And then we did some stuff around that, and it was great. Like it was good. But I remember one of the boys said, "Why don't you play?" And I said, "Look, mate, first year I was keen, and then I saw it like, mate, it depends how serious you want to be." So Martin Nonu played against some bloke, and the bloke was sledging Nonu. No, mate, are you kidding, mate? Like, that's what happens.
Yeah, but the problem is with Skarks, he doesn't drink. So he's there for the competition.
Yeah.
So you've got to try and find the balance.
Yes.
Almost like, mate, Skarks,
Yes.
take it easy. What I was going to ask is, so you talk about Wayne Bennett still reaching out.
Sure.
Do you reckon that's the reason for his longevity? Like,
Yeah.
Like, he's coached that many people.
Can
he
we just
reaches out to you once or twice a week.
So Wayne
Imagine
Bennett,
he reaches out.
if you're not in Australia and you're wondering who Wayne Bennett is the godfather of rugby league coaching. And
How long has he been around? 40, 30 years?
40
or...
He's coached everybody. Everybody loves him,
Yeah,
right?
so he's similar in like Sir Alex Ferguson, Manchester United. That's
that sort of realm. Yeah,
that sort of coach, and like I don't like to give Clive Woodward a rap, but like those sort of that's his.
That's the respect that they've got because of the results they've.
Look, and I think this is the thing about Wayne. the secret to Wayne is, a bit like Craig Bellamy, they get to know you, the person. So what works for Koopy, what works for you, what works for Gitz, Wayne will get into your psyche. I don't think coaching-wise, tactically he's not the best, but he knows how to get you up for a game. You look at the Dolphins. The Dolphins shouldn't have been where they've been with their roster of players. Had a good season, but now he goes to South, and let me tell you, Latrell Mitchell and Cody Walker, he'll get them.
Get the best out of them.
Yeah, but he has this, because the thing about Wayne Bennett, what he told me too, because he understands where sort of my background, because I think my birth mum, she obviously had a few problems. Only met her sort of twice, and they weren't bad, but so he gets to know what I need from him and how to make me better. And whether I was going to the footy show with you and stuff, he'd say to me, he goes, mate, you can go on the footy show. He said, you better be playing well Saturday or else you're not going to the show. So that's sort of my sort of carrot. But also, you check in with the kids. You'd always welcome the families in there. And I just think he worries sometimes when all the music and, the game and that
bright lights are off.
Bright lights. Because I think Peter Jackson was a player that went through a tough time. And, we've had some, I think he worries about me in that sense. But he knows I'm good now. He knows, as in, last couple of years have been tough. And you've got to be around people who lift you up and let you be yourself.
Which is why, Drew, you're so good. You've got to give yourself
great.
a rap. You are very good.
When
even in this funny little group that we have here, you're very good at boosting people.
Yeah.
And
So when you got sacked from Stan, I was shattered for you because I was watching course of you, and I see Morgan's on there and Shep and all this, and and it's unfortunate, but I know you were disappointed.
Yeah, it's tough.
Mate, one door closed, another one opens. Look at me. I was a Triple M for 12 years, and I was one of their biggest stars. But I'm doing other things now, and I'm so much more relaxed, because I've got time for the big Dell,
That's it. And you need time for the big Dell.
Dell, it's so good to have you in. Honestly, we've been waiting weeks and weeks and weeks to have you on, and it's
Worth the wait.
36 weeks. It's been away. I don't actually want to stop talking, but we need to because Hugo will never get this
now at a
edited.
2-hour record.
That's good.
Yeah. Let me just say, Dell, you're welcome anytime. Come in here, mate. Absolute pleasure to have you on. Also, we've sold a lot of stuff in this show. So if you go to www.kickoffs and kickons.com, you can get tickets to things. There's the beer.
Yeah, see what the tour.
There's a whole bunch of
2x7s.
stuff. And thanks again for supporting us. The reception this year's been amazing. Dell, we're nearly at 50,000 subscribers on YouTube.
I'm not surprised, mate. I'm not even subscribing yet, but I'm going to subscribe. I love it. I think you guys are doing really good. And now I can afford it. I've done a few functions. Yeah. Even you've looked after me a few times too. Yeah. So Drew cancels late sometimes. I don't come off the bench, but for Drew, I come off the bench. Okay?
Because we're going on a bit of a 3-week break, aren't we? Have we announced that?
What? We have, yes. So we've done 36 weeks in a row, and we all need a bit of a break.
Yeah.
And so obviously the Wallabies are having a bit of a break, and we are going to have a 3-week break. So
and come home really strong, re-energized for the tour at the end of the year in November. Not only for our tour, but for all the Southern Hemisphere teams that are touring up north.
Are you guys having a Christmas party by any chance?
Yeah,
we will.
I like Christmas parties.
Yeah, we know, Del. We'll get you there. Don't worry.
We're very good at them.
I do my best work Christmas parties.
You can sing for us.
Oh yeah.
Well, we've learnt that so does Kirtley.
He wants to come.
Bernard.
Yeah.
So does Lote.
Actually, all of our guests are invited.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That'd be great.
So we will be back in basically a month's time. I guess that's all we need to say. Del, thank you so much.
Thank you guys.
Thanks, Big Del.
Appreciate it.
Absolute pleasure. Hey, Gitz.
Love you, Gitz.
Mate, have more fun.
Big man, thank you so much.
Hey, Gitz, what about the wedding? Your wedding was great. I know we got to go now, but your wedding was great. Thank you for inviting me because I was suspended at the time. You invited me to the wedding.
Yeah.
Me, Buddy, Drew, Koopy. But that was one of the great weddings. Lote was there, Matty Rogers. Mate, I love you, brother, and your beautiful wife.
Now, as we go, also, I
appreciate
probably
that,
teased
big
at the
man.
top that we were going to talk through the South African Los Pumas game on the weekend and the All Blacks, the Bledisloe All Blacks Wallabies. We didn't get a chance to because we had the great man in, but we did do that on Sunday in the match review. So if you go into our videos, it's the last one we did. We did a nice deep forensic dive. You can get all your info on the games there, so make sure you go there and get that. Swoop, maybe you could watch it. It was really good on Sunday.
I'll get to it.
Okay, fantastic. Hey, that was Kickoffs and Kick-Ons with the great man Dell. We will see you in about a month's time. All that's left to do. Cuckoo! Oh, wow. That is the best video on YouTube. You know what you need to do now? You need to like and subscribe down there. Or if you want extra content, might be down there, you need to go up here or up here and get more of that gear. Thanks for supporting Kickoffs and Kick-Ons, and we will see you very soon.